All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome in to another day of OTB. Wednesday, June 26, 2024. T-Bob, Jake, Alondra, Jacob hanging out with you today. Hope you're all having a wonderful day. Obviously, we have to start with the news that broke right after yesterday with Schlossnagle pulling one of the most insidious, Machiavellian, just a move that should go down in sports rivalry history, leaving Texas A&M, going to Texas, a ton to unpack there. Also got a lot of college football talk coming up today, both the video game and real variety. I want to get into the Brent Venables extension a bit later. EA Sports College Football 25 releasing their 25 toughest places to play. Where did LSU fall? Also a live stream coming up later about the sights and sounds of the games that we'll check out. But look, it's going to be a very fun show today. Again, a lot that we're going to get to. The Pelicans have officially named a new GM. I think Luke Johnson had a very thought-provoking piece on Alvin Kamara in The Advocate this morning. So it's going to be a great show. And if you want to hang out, youtube.com/1045 ESPN. You can get in there. You can chat. Hit the like button. How's everyone feeling today?
Feeling great. No, my back hurts. But you know what? If you attack the day with that kind of enthusiasm, maybe, just maybe, you can trick the mind.
Yeah.
At least that's what I'm going to try out today.
Fake it till you make it is real, but I don't know how real it is against the incessant pressure of what you're going through backwise right now. But we're gonna try our best. We're going to try our best. How are you doing, Alondra?
I'm doing great. I am for this Coach Schlossnagle stuff.
It is.
I really am.
I mean,
I love every bit of it.
As long as it does not end up carrying you into the fray, right? Like as long as Jay Johnson doesn't end up in College
please
Station,
don't touch him.
Then it is pretty fascinating and awesome to watch outside looking in. That said, full disclosure, Alondra, where have you stood in your life with the Texas Longhorns? I don't remember exactly. I feel like I have some vague snippet of a memory of you loving Augie Garrido.
Yes, I do love Augie Garrido.
Okay. Just want to have everything on the table here.
Yeah.
Unlike Schloss,
I've never been quiet.
Front.
Yeah, I've never been quiet about the fact that I've been a low-key UT fan.
I just want unlike Schloss, I want all of our cards on the table here. We're going to approach this thing honestly and wholly. But as long as it doesn't, you know how like in a cartoon when two characters fight, they become that kind of roiling ball of smoke.
Yeah.
And if you get too close, you can get sucked into the fight. As long as LSU avoids that, then yes, it's fascinating to watch outside looking in. Beck, how we feeling today, dude?
Feeling great.
Hell yes, dude.
I felt the enthusiasm there.
Fake it till you make it, like we said.
Felt it.
This is actually maybe an ancillary benefit that I hadn't even considered here from Nookie, saying my favorite part of the Schloss news was how completely it knocked the Tennessee College World Series victory out of the news and social media. That is true. Absolutely no one talking about Tennessee winning the national championship anymore, and I can definitely take pleasure in that. But, Jake, I think you need to take a victory lap here because you had this man dead to rights yesterday after we listened to this audio. You can call me naive, and you would not be wrong. I would say that I was just more approaching it that like we know how to answer these questions now. You know what I'm saying? Like we've seen it time and time. There's so many different ways to deflect. Be like, I'm just thinking about the kids in those rooms right now. You know, I'm just thinking, like, you're going to make the move. There's so many different ways to answer. To do what Schlossnagle did with that reporter yesterday is absolutely shameful. And at a time where you have Dan Hurley being very open and honest during his entire situation, or Dan Lanning at Oregon very much being pretty vociferous and no, I'm not going anywhere. The same way that Schlossnagle was, right? But actually didn't go anywhere. Or even Kalen DeBoer, who never closed any doors on leaving when asked when he was at Washington, right? Because he knew he potentially could. Like, I just felt like there were so many better ways to handle it nowadays. And so, yeah, I am naive, but I was shocked that Schloss would have been that. And we'll play the audio. That Schloss would be this vociferous in his denial, the real audio, and attack a reporter essentially, while knowing that this deal had, according to Kendall Rogers, listen to it with this in mind. This deal had, according to Kendall Rogers, been in place since after the Georgia series and before the regional round, before the tournament ever began. Here's Schloss when asked about the Texas job after the national championship loss.
I think it's pretty selfish of you to ask me that question, to be honest with you. But I left my family to be the coach at Texas A&M. I took the job at Texas A&M to never take another job again, and that hasn't changed in my mind. That's unfair to talk about something like that. That'd be like you asking Montgomery if he's going to sign in the draft. But I understand you got to ask the question, but I gave up a big part of my life to come take this job, and I've poured every ounce of my soul in this job, and I've given this job every single ounce I can possibly give it. So write that.
So write that? Are you kidding me? How can you be so prideful, so egotistical as to punctuate a just flat out lie? And I've seen some people try to defend it as like, well, if you really look at the words, but no, not true. You're not going to gaslight me into saying that he left an opening for himself. You could maybe in the part where he's talking about how he poured everything into that job, you're saying, yeah, that's not a commitment. But no, at the beginning, he says, I took this job so I would never take another job, and nothing's changed, except that you've already agreed to a job. You liar. Like flat out. And you act so defensive and holier than thou, and you can see how he's justifying it in his head. It's no different than these kids leaving to go sign in the draft or whatnot. I think this is one of the snakiest, greasiest, Machiavellian moves I've ever seen. And my God, I hope all of the karmic justice that is due this man comes his way. And I hope that Texas never finds success under him.
It is wild to have agreed upon a job that long ago while your team, who was at one point number one in the country, like you knew that you had a chance to make a run. And so to do that and then coach your team and try to get the most out of them. But when I heard his answer yesterday, there's like two ways to do it. And you mentioned it, T. Like you could just say, hey, look, I'm not answering those questions right now. We just lost. There's a lot of emotions going on. Like very easy.
Easy.
Right?
Keep it moving.
But when you go the other way, like that's what to me is like it's sirens going off. This man's already agreed to be the coach there, or he's close to making his mind up to being the coach there because of the way that he said it. Oftentimes when we hear a coach go that far the other way, they're gone. Like you can already book it. They are gone. And so, you know, that audio is going to live for a very, very long time because even when Coach Saban's like, I'm not going to be the coach of Alabama football, like, okay, that's a clip. That's a sound. But he didn't go like, how dare you ask me that question? That is embarrassing for you to ask me that question. Write that. This audio, this might be the worst I've ever heard.
I think you hit the nail on the head. There have been outright lies, but again, like you said, the holier than thou nature of it, the print that or write that at the end, it takes a mind-boggling amount of ego to act in such a way. And you nailed it, Jake. And it's so funny. I was just explaining this saying to my wife on vacation. Methinks the lady doth protest too much, right? The old Shakespeare quote. And, well, in fact, ends up being true. You hit the nail on the head in reading it yesterday. Now, that said, this is a Hall of Fame move by Texas in terms of how to cut the nuts off of your rival. You steal your arch rival's head coach with just a giant bag of money. You do it during the playoffs so that now it is impossible. You cannot convince me that Schlossnagle was at least not somewhat distracted during this playoff run. It's simply,
how could you not be?
It's simply impossible. He literally, you're telling me that if you knew that you're going to leave this group of kids that you had committed your life to, leave the school, all this other sort of, even I guess leave your family a second time. You're telling me that you wouldn't think about that at night when you laid your head down on the pillow, no matter how much you threw yourself into your work. You announced the move the day after the school loses the national championship. They're on the edge of winning, which would have been the first one in nearly 100 years. And you even waited to announce the firing of your own coach until the morning of the deciding Game 3. I mean, it could not get more deadly effective, in terms of undermining your rival than what Texas just did to Texas A&M. Oh, and Schloss's players? Well, according to the 12th man, the number 12 player of the team, senior Ryan Target, had no clue. He figured out on X that Schlossnagle was taking the Texas job.
Man didn't even find out on Twitter.
Snake in the grass. Schloss, I think you look pathetic. And you know what the worst part is? You're a really good baseball coach, and you'll probably have success. But my God, if there is some sort of justice or karma or something out there, I hope the cosmic scales of justice find their way to you. And I hope that no matter how hard you try, no matter how hard you strive, no matter how many times you leave your family, I hope that you never find that national championship. That's how I feel on it. And I hope that A&M stays the hell away from Jay Johnson as well.
To me, I think the Texas job probably still more attractive than the Texas A&M job. And that's why your coach leaves from A&M to go to Texas. So I would be shocked if Jay Johnson or Tony V or any of the coaches, but you never say never. But Texas A&M, they've got a big opportunity, but also they better get it right.
Not just
in their next head coach.
The whole staff too.
Yeah, Nolan Kane gone.
The pitching coach.
Yeah, everybody.
The hitting coach. All of them.
It was a coup. It was a legitimate coup, a Trojan horse of sorts. It's got to be one of the wilds. I know because it's college baseball. It's a relatively smaller stage than some of the other major sports that America cares about and covers. But it's definitely one of, if not the most insidious coaching move that I've seen since I've been doing this job for about 11 years now. I don't know if I can think of anything that's even kind of relatively close.
Not that far out. Not when a team, we're talking like a month ago.
Yeah, already knew that long ago, according to Kendall Rogers, reportedly after the Georgia series before. And I'm guessing that how Schloss sleeps at night is that if they had won the Natty, he would not have made the move. That was the one. That would have to be the one out that he left himself was, I haven't really taken the job because if we end up winning this thing, I'm just going to stay here. But they didn't, in part at least, because he was distracted and thinking about the Texas job and him and Chris Del Conte getting to hang out again.
You think he was hoping they didn't win?
I think there's no denying that obviously he wanted the Texas job. And so there's some part of him that, hey, if we don't win, the silver lining is they get to take that job.
Did he say if they lost, or if they won, he was gonna stay at Texas?
No, maybe I'm naive though.
I don't think I don't know. I think that even if they won, he would have left.
I guess I'm just looking at it like we talked about yesterday, like when Les Miles was reportedly, according to Herbie and others I've talked to, and this is why you've never seen Herb Street break news again after this. He was told, Herb Street was, for whatever this is worth, Herb Street was 100% told by reliable sources that Les Miles was going to be the next head coach at Michigan. I believe that. I do think that's true. That gets leaked. Miles gets a bit angry about it. It's right before the SEC championship game. I'm going to be the coach here. Then you win. Then by the end of the day, you have a national championship appearance. You're definitely not going. Now, the timing's a bit different in football, so maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he could have won and left. But this is only the This is the first time we've ever seen a runner-up leave. The only other one I read was Ray Tanner, and it's just because he became the AD. They lost to Arizona in the 2012 Men's College World Series, and then he became the AD at South Carolina, so he didn't coach the team the next year. This is the first time you've ever had a runner-up coach not return the next season to their team.
Kalen DeBoer.
Baseball. I'm talking about baseball.
I know, but I'm laying out like.
Yeah. I mean, that's
this
right. I guess
crazy. We've had this situation in college football and college
True.
baseball where
True.
the runner-up, and in college football, the winner also went somewhere else.
Even and the funny thing is, I mean,
you better do good, by the way.
With the Kalen DeBoer thing, with the Kalen DeBoer thing, it's like, at least, I mean, it's Washington to Alabama, right? Like, you can't say no. That's the literal offer you can't refuse. It's the man who earned his way up from Sioux Falls has now been invited by the greatest dynasty that's ever been in the sport to come lead it. Like, A&M to Texas, but from a tradition standpoint, yes, Texas has a much better tradition. But from a resources standpoint, from a recent success standpoint, no, it's not. It's arguably a bit lateral.
I mean, this whole thing is wild. Even if it was, let's say, Texas A&M's coach going to Florida, like it would be wild.
Yeah.
But I mean, the fact that it is Texas A&M in Texas, the fact that Texas is coming into the SEC, right? The fact that Texas baseball has been stale for a long time to their standard. I know they finished third in 2001, but they've got the third most national championships behind USC and LSU. Like, they want to be great in baseball, and they just haven't been. And so as they enter this new league, knowing they've got to be much better than they have been, because we laid it out yesterday, 5 straight SEC champs, 5 different teams, 6 of the last 7, 6 different teams, should be 7 for 7.
Yeah.
It should be half the league winning national championships. You better come correct. And they realized that. And they went and stole a coach from their biggest rival right after a national championship game. I mean, Trev Alberts, the AD at A&M, Chris Del Conte, the AD at Texas, it might be on site.
Yeah, I would. I mean, bro, you want to talk about a way to just, like, A&M always getting made fun of for the feeling insecure about Texas and little brother energy and all that. I don't know that there's a way to make you feel more insecure than what has happened the last year and a half when it comes to those two. I mean, you had an advantage over them in football. You were better than them in football for what, damn near 15 years? And then all of a sudden you blink and Texas is in the playoff, and now Texas is like viewed right behind Georgia as the SEC favorite, and you're firing your head coach, and now they're stealing your coach in baseball, even though you've been dominant lately. 3 or 4 college World Series, everything. Was it 2 of 3? Either, like, you've been dominant. You've been beating Texas. And now if you can't beat him, I guess you just hire them. And that's what they did, bringing in Schlossnagle. So, again, super snake in the grass move. Jim, bring your family this time. A little advice. Okay?
Yeah, why did he leave his family last time?
Yeah.
Right, you didn't go that far.
You don't have to leave your family. Bring them with you. It's okay. And I hope you fail.
I think that was the selling point.
I really do. I hope. Yeah. That's how much this job means to me. I left my family. What you gonna do this time? Kill him? I mean, is that what you're gonna do to prove it to us, Jim? How much you care? Again, snake in the grass, snake in the Schloss. I hope you lose and you never find success. But
Snake in the slosh.
Snake in the Schloss. More like Jim Schlossnagle. That's tough to say. Schlossnagle. Schlossnagle. There we go. Finally found it. You know, workshop it enough and you'll chip away. All right, what do you think? YouTube.com/1045 ESPN. We'll get to your comments next. Also, where does Texas A&M go from here? Keep it locked right here on OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Go to Trash Rangers. TrashRangersLLC.com. You need the locals who give a damn, who are reliable, efficient, who work with you for your waste management needs. Well, look, if you live in Ascension or Livingston Parish, it's real easy to sign up. TrashSignup.com. In just 3 minutes, you can be good to go. But if you're a business owner, you need front load dumpsters, You need them picked up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, even 6 days a week. At Trash Rangers, we understand and we can work with you and find solutions for you. So screw the national guys. Go with the locals who give a damn. 225-363-9053.
So if you're looking for a roll-off dumpster, if you're redoing a portion of your home, or if you're completely redoing your business, they've got multiple sizes to fit your needs, and that is in the Baton Rouge area, right? So we're talking to everyone who is listening to us here in this area. Go find all that information on their website, trashrangersllc.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered.
Join me for a Wednesday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show. It's a What If Wednesday, the latest from college baseball's transfer portal and any drama involving the Aggies and the Longhorns, plus the NBA draft. Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back, OTB. The other funny part about all of this is, again, the timing is crazy, right? It's completely cucked Tennessee's national championship win. It's it comes at a time where in the Southeast, at least, like the place that cares about college baseball, there's not a lot of sports going on, you know? Like there are a lot of sports to watch, but the shows aren't going to like lead with the Euros and stuff, right? And so here you have just given us manna from heaven. It's incredibly juicy, dramatic story to break down. And it would have been juicy and dramatic even without this soundbite.
I think it's pretty selfish of you to ask me that question, to be honest with you. But I left my family to be the coach at Texas A&M. I took the job at Texas A&M to never take another job again, and that hasn't changed in my mind.
Oh, it hasn't.
That's unfair to talk about something like that. That'd be like you asking Montgomery if he's going to sign in the draft.
Which I would.
I understand you got to ask the question, but I gave up a big part of my life to come take this job, and I've poured every ounce of my soul in this job, and I've given this job every single ounce I can possibly give it. So write that.
Schlossnagle. Write that. You look like a chubby thumb. Write that. Okay, so it gets crazier, though. So that audio, I thought was the most shocking audio we found, but through my web of contacts, I actually found this is behind the scenes after the press conference. I have audio of Billy Lucci actually confronting Jim Schlossnagle about the impending move.
You disgust me. How can you live with yourself? Just cool it, Zippy. You sit on a throne of lies. Look, I'm not kidding. You're a fake. I'm a fake? Yes. How'd you like to be dead? Huh? No, he's kidding. You stink. I think you're gonna have a good Christmas, all right? You smell like beef and cheese. You don't smell like Santa. Okay, good.
I mean, I don't know why he called Billy Skippy. It seems a little disrespectful to me, but I'm just glad that Luch stuck up for the A&M faithful there and confronted Schlossnagle on such a awful move. Champ of the Chat says Jay licking his chops with a few of them arms at A&M about the transfer. I was wondering about that. So now both Texas and A&M will have wide open rosters for poaching. But the question is, like, how does this affect your roster management, right? Like, do you think Jay knew this move was coming and left spots available because of it? It does.
It was
seem
kind
like
of the
there
worst kept secret in college
I was
baseball.
going to say, it does seem like there was a lot of smoke there.
Yeah. So I think it was Alondra. Was it you that was saying you only have a couple days left in the transfer portal window? So I mean, Schlossnagle.
So actually, they get.
Yeah,
I thought they get like after your coach leaves, you get 30 days.
Yeah, you get that 30-day window.
But if you're Schlossnagle, do you think you have enough time, because a lot of the players have already gone other places, and now you're behind, and whoever the new A&M head coach is, like, you might get 30 days in those players, but like if the new A&M coach, there's already been 60, 75% of the players that you might want on your roster that have already gone elsewhere.
Yeah.
So you're behind the 8 ball, even if with the 30 days.
You could not have screwed A&M worse. You've left their roster to open seat. Remember when all the Alabama fans were crying like, like this timing is so unfair, and they emerged fine out of it. Well, the timing is even more unfair for the Texas A&M Aggies right now. Mac Lindsay says Schloss just did what I would do if I was playing NCAA and bouncing around jobs in Louisiana waiting for the call from LSU. True. I mean, that's basically all it was. Nookie says that is a man that spent too many weeks rationalizing his guilt away too successfully. Yes, I agree. The Braden Montgomery little soundbite gives you a look into that, right? It's just like Brady, you asking Brady if he's going to the draft. Well, because it's actually not at all like that, but whatever. Fonz asked the bench, with this clip of him lying this badly, how will this affect recruiting and keeping players moving forward? I don't think it's going to affect recruiting, but I do agree with Mark Cumby's statement where he says players, coaches, it's all the same and not surprising. I expect it these days. And that's this is why when coaches cry, it rings hollow. Because when they're offered the BBD, the bigger, better deal, they do the exact same thing that the players do. They go and take it. So yeah, it's again, imagine that. People go where they get offered more money.
And coaches have been doing that for a long time.
Way longer than the players have.
A long time.
So the players have only learned from their coaches like they do in sport as well. Like they do on the field, they've learned off the field as well how to maximize their value.
So, yeah, now who A&M hires is going to be the next story because maybe not as much as Texas, but it feels like they are going to go poach a name that you know. It's somebody that has had success because you can't.
They're embarrassed.
You can't half step. Yeah, you can't half step now. Like if you're Texas A&M, you can't go hire the Campbell head coach. You can't go hire even whatever mid-major program that you want to throw out there, right? You can't go hire that guy. You got to go hire somebody that has skins on the wall, somebody that has done it at the highest level, maybe not won Omaha, but been there plenty of times. You got to go get a name. You can't have your coach who just lost a national championship game, right, who you poached from somewhere else, go to your biggest rival and you go hire, the UTSA head coach.
Hell hath no fury like a rich person scorned. And they just got embarrassed on the highest possible level. So, yes, congratulations to all of the good head coaches because you will either be getting raises or you will be getting a massive bag from Texas A&M. Remember, A&M has over $80 million worth of stadium upgrades already pledged right now. We all know they have no problem investing, and now more than ever, they're going to be incentivized, angers, and galvanized to pour money into baseball and try to be better than Texas. Which, again, I know Jay Johnson, I know is look, I believe he's absolutely off the table, right? But Jay Johnson should use this as leverage to get the changes to the box that he wants done, to get a raise. And it's not just Jay Johnson. Again, like Jake said, any attractive coach out there, Wes Johnson maybe even. Yeah. Even though, again, you probably want a larger resume if you're Texas A&M there. But I'll be fascinated to see where they go. But again, it hell hath no fury like a rich person scorned, and this is about as scorned as they could possibly be.
It does look like Schlossnagle will make over $2 million per year. By the way, which in football terms, you're probably like, well, what's the big deal? Baseball terms. That's a big number.
How much does Jay Johnson make right now? A little over one?
I think he's over $1 million, but it's not.
He was making 1.65.
1.65.
Yeah.
1.65,
No, James Schlossnagle was making 1.35 at A&M, so that's a significant raise.
Huh. And
cost of living in Austin's a little bit different than
true. And maybe
Bryan,
he's going to
Texas.
lose money. And now, look, if you're Tony V's agent, you're saying, hey, Tennessee,
A&M called.
I think I need to be the highest paid coach. I just won the Natty, right? If you're Jay, he's making 2 now. I think I should probably make it 2 as well. Rising tide raises all ships, I suppose. Congratulations, Schlossnagle, on getting your peers paid. But Andy Cannizzaro, hell yeah, dude. Shout out, Andy. Again, I'll be fascinated to see where they end up going. And no, I don't think Tony V leaves Tennessee either. But if your agent is worth its salt, you're saying, well, why should he be making more than me when I just beat him in a national championship? And you try to pin your school down to remember Saban very famously when they won the 2003 championship got paid what, like $1 more than than Bob Stoops?
Yeah.
To be the highest paid coach in the country. Okay. Well, we'll see. All right. Anything else before we move on from Schloss for a little bit? Anything else? Going once? Going twice? Coming up next, we'll talk a little Treshaun Green as, you may see him in more uniform than one come next football season. Keep it locked right here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com. They're kind of like the exact opposite of Jim Schlossnagle in that they will not lie to you. They will not pull a fast one on you. They will not force you to leave your family just to enjoy a new vehicle. So whether you want a brand new vehicle, maybe you want a Toyota certified used vehicle where you still get excellent warranty coverage, whatever you need. If you need a rent, it's all there, okay? If you need a body shop, a service center, you don't even have a Toyota, you need to get a ball service, that's fine. The best service center out there, okay? Free professional estimate, insurance claims, welcome, all that. So, it's your one-stop car shop, okay? All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com.
Yeah, when you go to the website, check out what you can buy new, check out what you can lease, check out what you can rent. The great thing about it is everything's available in all three of those processes. So if you're looking for a rental for summer vacation, go ahead, call Miss Lisa Sessions in the rental department today and check it out online at allstartoyotabatonrouge.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Value Ford has $10,000 off F-150. $10,000 off the new 2024 Ford F-150. And all new Value Ford vehicles come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty. The crew at Value Ford is going to do right by you.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial properties. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years.
Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Wednesday's Hump Day AFR, presented by Pluckers. Jim Schlossnagle leaving Texas A&M for Texas. The domino effects in the portal. How do they impact LSU? We're talking about it. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Christian says, we going to talk about Oklahoma filing bankruptcy and have to try to use the athletic department funds to pay down university debt. I don't. So you actually, Christian, you're the first one that put this on my radar. So I will look into it, and we will get to it eventually. But yeah, Beck was looking into it during this last commercial break.
They're not filing for bankruptcy, but they do have a lot of debt. They've got like $1 billion in debt.
The things that I never know about these conversations, though, is like, how does that relate to like what LSU has or anything else? Like, everybody's got debt on their buildings and everything else. Like,
well,
in fact, as I understood it, that was always one of the things that made Arkansas kind of crazy, is that because of all the wealth they have, that like all their buildings and campus are all like paid off and everything, and they have no debt.
Yeah, so like OU, even there's an article on OU's like their university website saying they have close to $1 billion in debt, that they've had to raise tuition for the past 5 years. So like they're not doing
business
great.
out there like that.
Hey man, they're starting to GoFundMe. Times is tough. Even though, coming up with another $20 million to pay the players doesn't actually seem like just a drop in the bucket when you talk about owing $1 billion.
I mean, y'all setting up a GoFundMe for the travel baseball tournament?
Straight up, dude.
Just putting it out there.
Look, how bad do you want to win 4 natties in softball in a row? Okay, that ain't free, dog.
It's not. You're right.
That ain't free. So, okay, we were talking about potential replacements. I'm sorry, I want to move on to Slosh, but I just can't quite yet. Potential replacements.
You can't quit Slosh?
No, I can't. Potential replacements at A&M. Again, I don't think like Jay Johnson or Tony V is on the table. Let's just look at the last few national championship winners. I don't think there's any interest in Lamonis or Bianco.
Nah.
Even though, again, Mississippi State pretty good this year. Bianco's just never, that was lightning in a bottle, obviously. Who's the Wake Forest head coach?
Tom Walters.
That makes sense. You mentioned Nick Mangione during the break. That would make a lot of sense. I mean, what he's done at Kentucky is incredible, but the resources at a Kentucky and A&M, not even really comparable. It's not like you're leaving a super baseball tradition-rich school if you're leaving Kentucky. I still think so you said Hunt mentioned a lot of these names. Hunt also mentioned Sully from Florida because, of course, why not? Also, Sully has that kind of feeling of a guy who, like, I don't know, maybe this is inaccurate outside looking in, but who would entertain such things. He seems pretty, like, ruthless mercenary.
His name gets brought up every single job.
As it should. I mean, he is. And Florida continues to kind of perplex me as a baseball fan base because they kind of don't care, even though they're incredible.
And they're really good.
Yeah, like they don't deserve it.
A golden standard of college baseball, but it's like, when's football season?
Yeah.
When can we go watch Billy lose a game? When's that happening?
Florida sports are weird.
They're incredibly weird.
I know Bakich at Clemson has been mentioned. That feels like the backup plan. To me, like that would be not satisfying to Aggie fans at a time when Trev Alberts really needs a kind of symbolic win. Did Hunt mention Dave Van Horn? Is that at all realistic?
He did not, but I could see that being a name mentioned.
I mean, look, again, I think you just you're kicking all the tires if you're A&M here and you're talking to all the agents. So maybe that's, better baseball minds than me can speak as to whether or not that's realistic. I do think there's something to be said for the idea that the continued regular season success combined with the consistent postseason disappointment is a powerful brew when it comes to creating friction on both sides, like from the fans towards the coach and the coach towards the fans. And so maybe there's an opening there that A&M could drive a wedge in and try to pry Van Horn out of Arkansas. But I guess it remains to be seen.
I think Tom Walter at Wake Forest is the name that doesn't really get brought up here, and I'm not really sure why, because I think that you would have an easier time going to get him from Wake Forest than you would some of these SEC head coaches when you look at what he's making compared to some of those coaches. And you look at the resources that these teams have compared to what Wake Forest. Now, Wake Forest it's a great campus, and they do care about baseball, and they do have some pitching lab analytics that actually a lot of people are trying to copy. And so, like, they were on the forefront of that, and that's great. But you can get that everywhere. Of the jobs that we're talking about, hey, what'd you have at Wake Forest? Hey, can y'all get that done over here? Can y'all build that for us? Okay, good. It'll be done in a couple weeks. Great. And Tom Walter has year in and year out and gotten Wake Forest in a position where they're playing for championships, right? I mean, you are I don't remember what show we laid it out on. I think it was this show, but last year, right, LSU they threw Paul Skeens at you. Trey Morgan made one of the most incredible plays that you'll ever see, and then Tommy White hits a walk-off home run, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what it took to knock you out of the College World Series.
Yeah.
You had an incredible team. I think you win it if LSU doesn't win it.
I would agree with that.
I think they go in and they beat Florida. So he's been there before. He's played in some of the biggest games, and you're not going to have to, this huge buyout or a lot of convincing because, well, he just doesn't have the things at Wake Forest that he would have at Texas A&M.
No. How much does he make at Wake? Do we know for sure? Chat pointing out that Mangio makes about $700K at Kentucky.
I think
so. That would get doubled.
I think Tom Walter makes like $850.
That would get doubled in any sort of offer to A&M. And again, guys, I know I've spent a lot of time making fun of Schlossnagle today, but you could call me T-Snake if somebody would offer me double to do anything, right? Like, I mean, like you just
except leave this show, right?
I'd be gone as well. No. If somebody offered me double, I'd be, I'd probably be like, Volume didn't pick back up snaps, dude. Like we got to do what we can out here.
That's fair.
We're trying to make it. Now, hopefully, I would be a bit more honest about this. Again, it's not the move that we're clowning Schlossnagle for. It's that quote and that interaction with the reporter and how he carried himself during said move. All right, when we get back, let's close out hour number 1 of OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
K to Z window coverings, KTOZblinds.com. That's KTOZblinds.com. You want windows that wow, you want K to Z. Check it out. So Solu on Perkins, right? Great food, great place. They just installed 9 new shades. And here is a quote. These blinds are a game changer. It's amazing how much they've cooled down the patio area here at Solu. It makes it so much more enjoyable. And that can be you at your home.
Yep.
While you're grilling, chilling, doing whatever you want outside. I talk about the honeycomb shades. Look into those as well. KTZ window coverage, KTOZblinds.com.
I would have them come out to your home because if you're dealing with, hey, man, it's just too bright right here. It's too hot right here. The glare's too bad right here. But you don't know what you want to do. They've got a plan, and they're going to have a plan like in 5 minutes once they come into your space. It's happened to me twice. I promise you it's going to happen to you. They're going to blow you away with the plan they come up with and how quickly they come up with the plan. KTOZblinds.com.
Get the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge app powered by Bayou Ford and tap the microphone icon to send us your thoughts in an audio message. Your message could be played on air during Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob, The Hunt Palmer Show, and after further review with Matt Moscone.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $20,000 off new 23 Ram 1500 trucks. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $20,000 off the powerful Ram truck. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Oshner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance.
Charles Hanniger, join us for the Wednesday edition of Live at Lunch from Los Reyes Mexican Grill on Lee Drive. We're talking NBA draft with the Bird Rights, Ali Cosell. Scott Rabelais from The Advocate joins us, and Wes Reynolds from VEASAN. Live at Lunch, 11 a.m. Wednesday from Los Reyes on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Welcome back, OTB. Hope you're having a great day out there. We got some college football talk coming your way. Second hour, just watching some Copa America highlights. Lionel Messi going for goal from the corner, 87th minute, only set up another corner to get the eventual game-winning goal. Nookie says Nolan Kane, sadly, all in on this backstabbing. Well, yeah, we only make fun of the head coach. Nolan Kane didn't call anybody out, okay? Nolan, and I still love my Nolan Kane jersey that I have.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
All right. Real quick on Treshaun Green. Jake, we've talked about Treshaun Green in this show, of course. 5-star tight end. Looks like he's going to be very good for LSU football this fall, or has a role to play, I should say. Well, it looks like he has a role to play on the basketball team as well. As LSU men's basketball releasing their 16-man roster, Treshaun Green on the roster. Going to try to be a dual sport athlete in college. Here's a reminder that in football for Zachary last year, Treshaun Green caught 53 passes for 960 yards and 12 touchdowns. And as a junior at East Feliciana, he averaged 24 points, 13 boards, 4 assists, and 3 blocks per game. I would use this as another chance to say I'm really excited for the tight end room this year. I think they're going to have to rely on it more. Like we said, that's a great place to look up for making up for the production of Jaden Daniels' legs. Mason Taylor, I think, will be an all-SEC tight end by the time the season ends. I love Mac Markway as a great run blocker, but also a tendency breaker. You already saw in the bowl game, right? Great little play action, Mac Markway there, bam, touchdown. And now you have 2 receivers in Pimpton and Treshaun Green, who it's like, okay, like especially like a Treshaun Green with all the 6'7", all this height and raw physical ability, you can give him just a very vertical slice of the playbook because you have these other vets. It's not like he has to do everything like Mason Taylor did coming in early. You can give Treshaun Green a very vertical slice of the playbook within which to operate and just try to kind of wield him like a knife.
Yeah, I think Jamar Chase 2018 piece of the playbook where, hey, you're going to come in when it's the red area, right? When we need a big play, and like that's what you're going to specialize in because you're a freshman, and it's very difficult, obviously, when you are a freshman. But we want you to concentrate on this, and it paid off a lot of times for Jamar Chase in 2018, and that's what I would do with Green. I would do the same exact thing. We need you in these moments. Now we want you to know all of the playbook, but we really want you to know this portion of it, like T's pointing out. And then, like, the basketball thing's cool, man. Some people I've seen, like, concentrate on one. Man, when we were playing in school, dude. I love the fact that we had a ton of football and baseball players. Chris Jackson, Jared Mitchell, Chad Jones. Like, we had multiple guys that did both. And I thought it was cool. I think if you can do both, why not go out there and do it? You're on football scholarship, so that's going to be the most important sport. But, man, this has been happening for a long time. Like, we can go back and Tony Gonzalez and Donovan McNabb and all these guys, Vincent Jackson, that played both in college. It is something that you don't see very often anymore, so it's kind of cool.
Yeah. Seemed to have worked out for Jay Mitch. Saw him in Cabo. He was talking about all these incredible trips that him and his wife take all over the country. That would not have happened had he not played baseball and football. So, yeah, man, I agree. And you know what? Maybe it does become too overwhelming because I cannot fathom doing it. But some people can. But at least try, right? Like, there's no issue with going out there and at least seeing what is there for you. So, very excited for Trey Disgree. Very excited again for this tight end room as a whole, and Garrett Nussmeier kind of leaning on them in this upcoming season. All right, coming up next hour, no flustering today, but we can surely get into some nonsense anyway. But I want to get into the Brent Venables contract extension. Was it warranted by Oklahoma? Why now? EA Sports College Football 25 come out with their 25 toughest places to play. LSU number 3 on
Go
the
to
list.
don'tdrinkmyhigh.com.
Who's number 1? Yeah. That's funny. That's so weird. Somebody made that a website. I was like, man, they really don't like my high. Hour 2 of OTB coming up next.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Coleman Roofing and Construction. Go to colemanroof.com. That's Coleman Roofing and Construction. You want the most complete, the most reliable, the most respected roofing company in Louisiana. You want the place at Coleman Roof where they do it right the first time, okay? Integrity, quality, innovation. Any kind of roof, anywhere in the state, any size project. That's where we get into complete. And here at Coleman Roof, we go to extreme lengths to make sure that the clients are happy, okay? There's no such thing as that's not my job. And it's not just the roofing, right? The construction portion of it. They fix your interiors as well. Coleman Roofing and Construction, working them today, colemanroof.com.
Louisiana's most reliable and respected roofing company. Truly, like, no matter residential, commercial, that's throughout the state of Louisiana, we are talking to you. But it is, like T just said, it is a one-stop shop because it is Coleman Roofing and Construction. Go to the website, colemanroof.com.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. It's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, what's up, y'all? Welcome in hour number 2 of OTB. Hope you're all having a better day than the Texas A&M Aggies are. I found some more. I found another Schlossnagle quote that I found was funny. So he was asked about the Texas job, I think, sometime during the tournament, and he said, quote, "There isn't a moment in my day where I think about what Texas is doing. I think if you go look at general society today with social media, everyone does the comparison game. And A&M and Texas have been doing the comparison game for a couple hundred years." But yeah, according to Schloss, not a moment in his day where he thinks about what Texas is doing, except when he's talking to Texas about being the next head coach and agreeing to a $2 million
But outside of that.
Outside of that, though.
Nothing.
It's all this, and I love when these coaches, again, it's the holier than thou ego, the pride of being like, it's damn society and social media, and these kids don't want to work hard, and they want to hit the portal and leave at the drop of a hat. Okay, well, you did too there. You did too, Snakel. God, if karma's real, it should burn you bad. You didn't even tell your players.
That is the worst part.
Didn't even tell the players. Like, at least Dan Hurley, when the Lakers are offering him $1 billion, is like, guys, look, I gotta
go see.
I'm gonna go see what's up. Lanning just chose not to lie. I mean, DeBoer was open with his players the entire time, told them himself ahead of time.
I've only been in this situation one time, and Coach Saban sat us down. We were in a team meeting, and before he told anybody, before the news broke, he's like, hey, here's what it is. I love it here. I would stay here for a long, long time, but I have an itch to go see if I can be an NFL head coach. He said there's not a school in the country that could call me right now, and I would leave LSU for. The only way that I would leave is if I got an NFL opportunity with a great organization, and I've gotten that opportunity. I'm going to go take the Miami Dolphin job.
The only lie there is the great organization part, but everything else is true.
Miami, yeah.
I guess that's true. I mean, look, the 70s, they one of the
Marino times in the 80s and early 90s.
That's fair. For our lifetime, they've mostly been trash, but that's fair. And so he told you this before the news had broken officially.
Yeah,
he told you this during the process.
That's the first place that I had heard it.
Yeah, see.
Now I know social media in 2004 wasn't the same as it is now. I do understand that. But either way, I still appreciate the fact that he sat us down. He explained it. He's like, do y'all have any questions? Anybody in the room got any questions? And the way he approached it, nobody really – and he also stayed with us during that bowl game and that bowl week, coached us, and then went.
Well, and also he look at how he retired. The first people to know were his players immediately in the meeting. Champ says, y'all ripping on Jim but love BK, and he did the same thing in Notre Dame. I want to see, let that be a fun exercise. Let's look up BK's quotes when leaving Notre Dame. Let's see if we can find as vociferous a denial from Brian Kelly as what you had here. Somebody else, Emil, saying, my favorite denial was Lincoln Riley saying he wouldn't be the next LSU coach and leaving for USC a couple hours later. I mean, that is pretty good. And you can't really be mad at that because he wasn't going to be the next LSU coach. but I also ain't going to be here. Champ says not the quotes. He goes to the players. They had no idea. Okay, well, I mean, look, I think that's hoe energy. I don't care who it comes from. If your players find out through social media, you have mismanaged and betrayed the relationships that you cultivated. Yeah, it's like I actually, Casey Smith from Barstool. I think she had a pretty good take this morning where she's like, a lot of people are like
big A&M fan.
Yeah, massive A&M fan. But she was like, a lot of people are telling me like, what, don't get mad. That's just what coaches do. And she made the very salient point of like, okay, well, people cheat all the time. Does that make it right? It's not like, don't get mad. That's what you just cheat. That's what cheaters do. Like, no, what are you talking? No, I like you can still be mad at it. And yeah, I think it's a really bad move if that's how your players figure out that you are leaving. I think you have mismanaged the situation out of pure selfishness because you could, yeah. I mean, everything about what he did, he kept it on. I mean, agreed to this deal before the tournament even began. Crazy. All right, let's get to a little college football talk. Where do you want to start? You want to start with the Venables extension, or do you want to start with College Football 25 releases their toughest place to play? By the way, shameless plug here. Again, Volume didn't pick back up snaps. We're out here trying. We are going to go live immediately after this show on the Snaps YouTube channel. EA Sports is doing a Sights and Sounds live stream that we'll be reacting to live. If you want to come hang out, youtube.com/@snapscfb_. I tweet out the link. You go to my Twitter. All right. Which one do you want to do? Toughest places to play? Or
we talked about Brent Venables yesterday, so I'd like to go to the toughest places to play.
Yes, we touched on Venables, but I think there's a little more meat on that bone in that we didn't really get into the numbers as much. It was a very surface level conversation. I thought about it more, and I kind of came around, actually, to where Oklahoma was. But EA Sports released their 25 toughest places to play in college football, and LSU checking in at number 3 on this list. Kyle Field, College Station, number 1 toughest place to play. Bryant-Denny Stadium coming in at 2. Tiger Stadium 3. The Shoe up there in Columbus, Ohio State at 4. Georgia at 5. Penn State and Happy Valley at 6. Wisconsin and Camp Randall at 7. Oklahoma, I had no idea they were Gaylord Stadium, but Oklahoma coming in at 8. Florida State at 9. And then the Swamp at number 10. Jake, anything jump out to you immediately there in that top 10?
Yeah, look, I'm always going to fight. Everybody on the show is always going to fight for Death Valley to be number 1. We all know what that is. I truly believe it's number 1. That's not just lip service. But my biggest gripe isn't even with LSU not being number 1. Do I think they should be? Absolutely. Okay, you want to have Kyle Field 1? Okay. There is no way that Bryant-Denny Stadium is number 2. I have been in that stadium. I have been in that stadium games where, it went into overtime with Alabama being undefeated late in the season. I've been in that stadium when Nick Saban was trying to beat LSU with his first time going against the Tigers. I have been in that stadium in 2019 when it was Burrow versus Tua and first-round picks all over the place. It's a good stadium. Sometimes it gets loud. Sometimes it doesn't. They've got a light show, okay? There's no way I would have it number 2. And the fact that it's at number 2 and their biggest rival, the Auburn Tigers, are down at number 14, there's not 13 stadiums louder than Jordan-Hare Stadium. That place is top 5 for me. Every time I've ever been in Jordan-Hare Stadium, it's been incredibly loud. It's one of the best venues in the SEC. I would actually have it probably 3rd in the SEC, but I'd have it top 5, I think, in the country. 14, there's no way. There's no way that Memorial Stadium at Clemson is louder. There's no way that Gaylord Family Oklahoma Memorial Stadium is louder. That Camp Randall, that's great. it's not louder than Jordan-Hare Stadium. That's crazy.
So this is actually fascinating to me then from a perspective issue, because I've actually always been a bit of a Jordan-Hare hater. Everybody's it's all a function of I don't know, just experience. I would have Jordan-Hare in the top 10, but I have never, and maybe it's just because, outside of the one Cam Newton year, I think we beat Auburn every year. And so again, it's like, whatever. It didn't
How many times have you been there?
Twice.
Okay.
We won there once, and then
I lost there both times I played.
we lost there with Cam Newton. And I'll never forget, that was one of the funniest moments ever. Not funny, but kind of, I guess, darkly humorous, where
The Colt Tracy game in 2018 was one of the loudest venues I've ever been in.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So this is all going to be a bit subjective anyway. And for what it's worth, I'll never forget when Cam Newton went on the Heisman winning run and he stiff arms Pat P in the end zone. I remember sitting on the sideline. I think it was maybe late third quarter, and just being like, "We're not winning. We're not winning this game." Kind of looking around here in the crowd, like, damn. Maybe it's just that weirdo that tries to lead the crowd in the 2 bits, 4 bits, 6 bits $1 chant.
Well, I mean, Florida's got that out there too. Florida calls it. Doesn't Florida call it Mr. 2-bit? And you wear the yellow shirt and the tie.
I don't know. But okay, so here's where else it gets interesting is that Bryant Denny, the first time I played in 2009, when they had about 90,000, 80,000, whatever it was, I didn't think it was loud at all, really. When they went to 100,000, and maybe it was combined with the game of the century, I think that was probably the loudest stadium I've ever heard. But that's where this list becomes a mixture of, okay, what are we judging? And I think it behooves them to not have exact parameters. It's toughest place. And if you combine maybe, because I do think that was a decade ago. I think Bryant Denny's crowd in the ensuing decade has gotten older and richer and sits on their hands more, right? Because they don't have desperation. They're it's like going to a game and the Capitol in Hunger Games or something. These are people that kind of expect to be there. But toughest I could see because nobody won in Tuscaloosa, right? Until Texas last year, just nobody wins ever in Tuscaloosa. But that's also, but if that's the metric, then why is A&M number one? Because it's not tough to win in College Station.
Didn't App State do it?
Yeah, just a couple of years ago. I mean, if you take out 2020 when nobody was in the stadium, the last undefeated season A&M had at home was 99. But in terms of just pure loudness and insanity of the fans, I could see them being number one. So I don't exactly know the metric here. I will say this, for whatever this is worth, to take our local bias out of it, 4 of the 5 of the Athletics college football writers that covered this story, 4 of the 5 said they believe that Death Valley should have been number one on this list. So this is not, if you are an LSU fan and you're saying, "Rawr, how are we not higher?" It's not, yes, we're all being a bit of homers, but it is supported with some national perspective as well.
I've been to 15 of the 25.
Oh, wow.
15 of the 25, and I feel like I've got a pretty good idea of these places in their peak. And I just got qualms with multiple things on this list. Like Beaver Stadium being 6 and Ohio Stadium being 4.
Yeah, I don't understand that either.
I even had Bobby on yesterday, and Bobby was like, I don't know about that.
The Horseshoe doesn't, it's not even a full stadium.
Yeah, Beaver Stadium's great.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, the surrounding areas and how long it takes to get there and things around it, not great. But once you do actually get there to Happy Valley, it's great.
The whiteout, I was surprised to see Ohio State.
Neyland being down at 13 too, and seeing some of the teams that are ahead of them. Neyland's not the most crazy crowd at times,
but when they're loud, it's. Again, I would agree with you. That was one that jumped off the page.
We played there in 2006. Great game, 2 top 10 teams, and it was more of a golf clap crowd. But since then, they've kind of changed the narrative, and now you see a different age of Tennessee fan.
We played there in 11. And it was a close game for the first half. Second half was just an absolute throttling. But it was one of the loudest places we ever played in that first half. I think the Swamp being behind Sanford is ridiculous. Unless, of course, we're saying Georgia's tough to play because of Kirby Smart and the players.
But they'd be tough to play
Georgia.
out in the parking lot. They'd be tough to play on a battleship. They'd be tough to play anywhere.
Nothing about the Hedges stands out to me as being that extra normal. It doesn't even feel that much crazier than playing at South Carolina did. The Swamp felt extra normal. Again, maybe it's my perspective of playing them during the Urban Meyer era, and there's Brandon Spikes and company lined up across from you. But still, the Swamp, I would flop Georgia and the Swamp here.
And I also the style of fan, the type of fan, right? The hate, because when you go to some of these stadiums, okay, the Broncos were going to have more fans than the Raiders, but when we went to Oakland, it was just something different, right? You had the black hole. They hated you. They were going to throw stuff at you. Hell, there's a good chance that it would still be a baseball field out there as well, right? So you had this hard clay that would cut you up, and there was something about having to go to Oakland and having to deal with that made it difficult to go play there. Now, it wasn't the greatest stadium. It was a dump, and they didn't have as many fans. Hell, half of it had tarps on it, but you knew when you were going there. So, that's the same feeling I got with the Swamp.
Yeah.
You knew that it was going to be built straight up. They're going to be on top of you. They were going to whisper sweet nothings to you, and you're probably going to get something thrown at you.
Just talking trash the entire time. I know jump around's cool at Wisconsin, but I can't. I've never been to Wisconsin, so I don't want to besmirch it. But I see Autzen at 11. Oregon Stadium, that should be higher.
I told the story of you trying to fight people in the stands on off campus yesterday.
That should be higher, dude. That should be
Bobby
higher.
enjoyed that story very much.
The dude tried to claim he was an undercover cop. Cop these hands.
No matter how small they are, you can still cop them.
Oregon's 28.
The handcuffs might not fit and your hands might slide out, but
relax. How about this? I bought a golf glove, okay, for a round of golf the other day. I bought an extra large, thank you. And it fit perfectly. Oregon.
Kids extra large?
No. It was an adult extra large. Okay. Thank you. Oregon's 28-1 at home over the last 5 years.
Yep.
The only team that is tied for as good of a record is Georgia at 28-1. I think they should be higher than 11. I do not think Michigan should be higher. I've seen that bandied about. Everything I've heard about the Big House is that while it's big, it does not hold in sound. And I feel like I've heard that from Jake Butt and other Michigan players directly, that is not the best for holding in sound. Again, Lane Stadium, Virginia Tech, cool tradition with, is it Inner Sandman?
Yeah, it gets pretty loud there.
I guess 17's fine with it. But should they be above Rice-Eccles, Utah?
No.
Yeah.
Gosh, that's actually a really good argument. Those two are pretty good. I don't know. Lane Stadiums, they got some juice. They got some juice to them.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. Auburn at 14 is crazy. I actually like that they put South Carolina at 15 because that's a bit underrated. I don't think people think about that because South Carolina is traditionally one of the worst football programs ever, just factual. But their stadium is awesome. Notre Dame at 21. Michigan East Lansing. Spartan Stadium coming in at 22.
Why is Arkansas on this list?
Yeah, I don't know. I've been there a lot, and they've done some great stuff as far as
cool
renovations.
Stadium,
They've done, it's nice, but no.
Yeah. I've lost to Arkansas a lot, but
I would have Davis Wade ahead of Razorback Stadium.
How about old Davis Wade sneaking in at 25? Cowbells glory. I cannot imagine the amount of tech that EA has put in into recreating cowbells. Going to make it just as annoying as they are in real life. If only there was like a Vandy Whistler for football. I wonder if EA would go so far as to recreate something that annoying.
The cowbells are adjacent.
Yeah, they're Vandy Whistler adjacent for sure.
Who's left off the list that y'all would? Maybe Ole Miss?
No.
Vaughn Hemingway just doesn't have the population.
Yeah,
they just don't have the numbers.
Yeah.
I think at least.
No, I agree with you.
I hadn't. You know what? Let's do this. We've gone long. We'll go to break. I'll think. Let me think about that. Who got left off, and then when we get back, we can get into it. And then I do want to talk a bit more about Oklahoma extending Brent Venables, as they have $1 billion in debt, apparently, or whatever. Again, I don't know how crazy that is though compared to other schools. Keep it locked. More OTB coming up next.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Get Gordon and get it done. 225-888-8888. You need somebody who's going to fight for you, going to stand up to the big insurance companies. You want Gordon McKernan injury attorneys. They're going to get you what you deserve. You can go to the website, getgordon.com, and you can fill out a form for your free consult right now, or you can call them up at the number. But remember, even if you don't get an accident, we're following on social media. See a lot of great content with your favorite members of the G team, a lot of your favorite athletes. Gordon helping LSU navigate this new era of college athletics. So you too can help get it done by going to getgordon.com today.
When you go to the website, you can do it all. You can ask a question. You can find past client results. You can find cases they can handle for you. You can get a consultation set up right there on the website. So check that out, getgordon.com. And it's always going to be at GetGordon on all major social media, as well to see what they're doing in the community. And then pick up the phone anywhere in the state of Louisiana, put your area code, followed by 888-8888.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call.
Join me for a Wednesday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show. It's a What If Wednesday, the latest from college baseball's transfer portal and any drama involving the Aggies and the Longhorns, plus the NBA draft. Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Y'all know what movie this is from?
Spider-Verse.
Spider-Verse.
Oh, Jake, quick on the draw.
I had to grab my mic.
So
seen
good.
both of them in theater. Yeah, like we went, like when they came out, we went and saw both in theaters. Yeah.
Spider-Verse
Yeah, my boys
2.
love it.
2 of the best animated movies of the last probably 20
Great
years.
soundtracks too.
I view Spider-Verse 2 as a landmark animation.
Absolutely.
I mean,
I mean,
Frozen.
one is as well, but 2 just came
Took it to the
together.
next level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a Snow White, Sleeping Beauty, Toy Story. Put it up there for me. But I like this song the best probably out of it. Even though that second soundtrack I've listened to constantly. You know, Jake, honestly, I didn't come up with a stadium that's not on here that I
came up with
necessarily
4.
put on here. Okay, what do you got?
So the first one for
Tell me
me
who you're removing as well.
Okay, well, let me pull the list back up if I've got to take teams off. Let me go ahead and take Boise State off, Michigan State off, Arkansas off. Actually, one of mine was on there. I missed it. Iowa at number 20. Okay, I missed that one. So I've got 3, and these are the 3 I'm going to take off. All right, so Michigan State, Arkansas, and Boise State.
Okay.
And I'm going to add the bounce house for UCF.
Really?
Yes. I'm going to add Boone Pickens for Oklahoma State.
I agree with Boone Pickens.
And I'm going to add Kroger Field for Kentucky.
This feels like Mark Poop's propaganda here.
No. Anybody in the chat or anybody that's listening, if you went to that game in, was it 2021 when LSU went there, right? Was it 21? Yes. Yeah, it'd have been 21.
Yeah.
Where Will Levis was quarterback.
Yes.
That was one of the best atmospheres I've been in.
I don't remember because that was the
stadium
most
DJ
drunk whiskey and wine
was
I've
incredible.
ever had.
He knew exactly what right songs to play. The crowd involvement in it. It had some real noise to it. It was. I said it to everybody that would listen, and that was before, I started talking as much about Kentucky. Well, maybe not, but so I would add Kentucky. I would add Oklahoma State. I would add UCF, and I'd give a strong thought process to NC State and Carter Finley.
NC State was mentioned as one of the potential snubs, which I don't have a ton of experience with beyond watching them on television. How much does NC State hold? How much does Kentucky hold, for that matter? What's Kentucky about? About 50? 60?
Probably, maybe more about 60. Let's see. Kroger Field, by the way, is a great name.
I grew up going to Kroger.
Yeah, me too.
One of the, but you know
61,000
for Rouse's. Okay, that's what I prefer.
I prefer Alexander's Highland Market.
Yeah, how about that?
Or the new one in Gonzales.
Like Louisiana grocery stores.
NC State holds 56,000 or 57 basically.
And Kroger 61.
So overall, though, I mean, I don't have any major problems with this list. I'm very excited for the EA presentation today to see how they're going to continue to because look, when you talk about college football, what makes it so great? The pageantry, everything around the edges, and it seems like the creators of this game fully understand that. It seems like they themselves are very passionate, major fans of college football, and I know some of the ways that they're talking about trying to make that translate, Jake, where I love some of this stuff. We haven't gone nearly as deep on this show on it, but like, let's say you have a freshman tight end, 5-star, supposed to be really good, right? Mm-hmm. But he's in one of these environments. He could straight up just have an MA, just run the wrong route. Won't know where to go. Like you bring up the little route tree before, it'll be shaking, it'll be going different directions. You could just, so they are trying to, like, if when it comes to the pure video game portion of this top 25 places, toughest place to play, they are trying to actually translate it into tangible advantages, which makes all the sense in the world because in college football, being at home is without a doubt a tangible advantage. Like when we do all of our season previews and we go through schedules and win losses, where you play means as much, if not more, than almost who you play and when you play. So I'm excited to see what they reveal later today.
Yeah, and I can tell you as a freshman on the road in the SEC, trying to hear audible calls and be like, what?
Yeah.
Said Hut? Oh,
yeah. Bad feeling.
I went the wrong way on a horn boss or two down in the swamp my freshman year. Had to wrap around to try to go block the Mike backer.
Wait, if you went the wrong way, you mean you not like left and right wrong way. You'd be like
yes.
How in the world? How did you get back ahead then?
So
what did you do? Like pull a little spin move? You're like,
yes.
I thought it was counter.
Yes, that's what it looked like, was me pulling on counter. Because Jamarcus was making the audibles, and I can't hear a word he's saying. The running back's asking me. I'm like, I don't know. Said Hut.
Oh, my God.
And you see
dude.
Jamarcus turn, reverse out to pitch it. And I'm like, oh, boy, I got to get around here.
Did you make the block?
Probably not.
Yeah, it'd be impossible, I feel like. Yeah, but again, so that could happen. That could happen to you. Which, how does that translate to a game? How do you make that fun? Are you going to be frustrated? We'll see. That's the plan. That's the plane that they have to land.
But as long as they have a way to like maybe just turn it off if you don't want to have to worry about like something changing the game, because in terms of just like a pure game, you wouldn't want that many like just variables that could happen.
I'm always down for more options, right? So yes, if you're doing some sort of online dynasty and you all wanted to agree to it, sure, but I don't think you're going to catch me turning it off. I think it's too integral to kind of the CFB experience and having to work around such obstacles. And it'll benefit you as much as it hurts you, right? I mean, it's hot outside for you. Okay, it's hot outside for them too. Like the old man you say, wait! I don't see Nebraska on this list. That has to be a mistake.
You've got one. There you go.
They've sold out like 40 years in a row, and they suck. I know it's if A&M gets to be number one, you're telling me Nebraska can't come in the 20s? Come on now. Agree or disagree?
You're not going to have an argument from me.
I'll take Arkansas. I'll take Arkansas. I don't even leave Boise and East Lansing in just because I don't know a ton about them. Take Arkansas out, put Nebraska in. Absolutely ridiculous. Trash list, trash game. Get out of here, EA. All right.
I don't even have a system to be able to play this game on. You know what I mean? Like my boys.
You have like 8 Xboxes at your house.
I do, but they're all Xbox. Well, we have 4 of the new ones and 4 Xbox Ones.
Yeah, the new ones. No, you're good.
Yeah, that's Memphis, Hudson, Knox, and Jackson who are going to be playing the game as well.
Yeah, well, just beat them, and then you get to stay on the sticks.
Yes, not how it works.
Yeah.
Just ground them.
Yeah.
Say, hey.
Hey, you're grounded because I want to play your video game.
Yeah.
Beat them physically so they understand that you're the dominant one and that when it's Dad's time to play, nobody else is allowed to.
Yeah, I'll probably just live through you. And the boys.
Well, I'm gonna have to buy an Xbox for up here, so we'll have it in the office over here.
Yeah, I'll go in the green room and I'll play.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's the superior system.
It is for sure.
Console wars in 2024, really? I grew up on those streets. Okay. You don't even know. You sweet summer child, to use a little Game of Thrones parlance. You don't even know.
I'm on
Have
episode
you
8.
even watched the latest episode of House?
Yeah,
of
did you
Dragon?
finish it or no?
Yeah, last night. It's incredible.
Okay, good.
It's so freaking
Weren't you
good.
super tense at the end?
I was super tense at the end of both
Hold
episodes.
up. Wait a minute.
I was like,
it's horrifying and awesome.
Without
and it's
giving
only going to get
anything-
more horrifying.
Without giving anything away, when they at the ballparks they do they'll hide the ball under the hat and they'll shuffle the hats around.
Yes.
That's what I felt like in the last fight scene in House of
I
Dragon.
know. Even I was confused. I still don't even really know.
So
I'll tell you.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe I have a read on it,
Yeah.
and I'm
think so,
interested to
too.
compare notes because of a wound that was suffered
Yes.
early in the
Yeah,
fight.
yeah.
But we can get to it during the commercial break.
Okay.
More OTB coming up next.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
All-Star Toyota BatonRouge.com. Who said Dreamcast? The hell yeah. All-Star Toyota BatonRouge.com. Power Stone. Crazy taxi. Yeah. Don't take a taxi. Rent a car from All-Star. Okay. If you need a service center, body shop, all makes and models are welcome. You get a free professional estimate. Insurance claims welcome. They got factory parts right there on site. They got a shuttle service that'll drop you off and pick you back up. They got rental cars right there on site. They got everything you need at All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge. All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com.
They certainly do, T, and no matter what you need, no matter what your family's needs are, your needs are, they're going to have something for you. Multiple options, in fact, midsize SUVs, multiple trucks. They got the Sienna minivan, Sequoia full-size SUV. They've got hybrids. They've got anything that you need over at All-Star, and all the processes, buying new, leasing, and renting. All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. It's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $20,000 off new 23 Ram 1500 trucks. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $20,000 off the powerful Ram truck. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated.
Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Wednesday's Hump Day AFR, presented by Pluckers. Jim Schlossnagle leaving Texas A&M for Texas. The domino effects in the portal. How do they impact LSU? We're talking about it. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Good luck to my wifey. Somebody earlier in the chat said me and Gronk not having a funny story is the most disappointing development of 2024 thus far. Again, I apologize. But again, my wife did play the bongos on Gronk's ass. So shout out to her. And shout out to her. She got a big tennis match coming up here in 20 minutes, Jake, to decide whether or not the team goes to state.
Ooh.
I told her 1 point and clear. Stay present. Doesn't matter what happened the last point. Doesn't matter if it was good or bad. All that matters is the next point. Just repeat it to yourself like a mantra. Good luck, baby.
Yeah. Be where your feet are, Caitlin.
Be where your feet are.
Be where your feet are. 1 point and clear.
1 point and clear.
I kind of know how tennis is scored, but it doesn't really matter. Go out there and go get your team to state.
Let's
15,
go, Caitlin.
30. If tennis scoring's objectively the funniest thing ever. I've never looked into the origins of why or how it arrived this way. Why you go 15, 30, 40 game. Yeah. I have no idea.
That's why like soccer fans always like Wait, why do y'all go by sixes?
Why is it love, not nil? Football. So football, I understand a bit more because, I mean, I guess you could go by 2s and 1s and it would be the same thing instead of 6s and 3s.
3s and 1s.
But you're actually going 7 and 3s. So you're saying that a touchdown is worth a little, because I'm including the extra point there. You're really saying a touchdown is worth a little more than double that of a field goal. So like I understand the scoring there a bit. In tennis, you're still just counting to
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, you're still just counting to
1, 2, 3, 4 into the 4.
And it gets even more confusing because when we call it scores, we say 5 love, 3 love, 4 love, which, yeah, very fun, though. I actually love tennis, dude. I can't wait. Good doubles match coming up Thursday. Let's go. Preston Guy texted me, bro, you better hype up West Virginia on the top 25 stadiums list. West Virginia is very good. I don't know that I'm super, super passionate about them being top 25. I mean, playing Hell's Bells on third down is pretty cool. You're definitely in the mountains surrounded by a bunch of literal hillbillies losing their mind and drinking moonshine, burning couches. Awesome. Like, would I put them over a Boise? Sure, but I wouldn't go to the mat for that like I would Nebraska needing to be on that list, for sure.
But them not being on there, and again, some of the ones at the back end of it, I don't know about that. West Virginia's a good call. They burn couches and stuff. It's great.
It's the only time we ever got flashed after a game, and that bus about tipped over with all these young, what's the word I'm looking for? Potent. These young, potent men trying to get a peek of what was going on. Everybody rushed to one side of the bus, and I feel like it literally came up on 2 wheels. Is playing the butt bongo code for swinging? No, that's an upside down pineapple. Is what you're actually looking for. Meglin says, my wife was hoping for a video of you and Gronk singing Pink Pony Club. Yeah, shockingly, no Chapel Rome played in the reception.
Shockingly?
Yeah, the music was a little okay. Like, they played Smoking on Purple, but then didn't even play the Young Savage verse, which I went up to the DJ and told him that was a mistake, but whatever.
I mean, as you should.
Yeah, I didn't understand that at all. Like, you got to show a little patience, you know? What are you we're just rushing through every song, but whatever.
God, a DJ, man, can make or break the wedding.
Yeah.
Truly can. No matter how much money you spend.
I mean, I prefer band, but I understand that, like, DJs bands are going to be way more expensive generally.
I love a band. I love a good band. And if there's like a band that can do multiple genres, great. But there's like 10 to 15 songs that I'm gonna prefer a DJ.
Mm.
At my aunt's wedding, we did both. Like, it was like a band.
A great combination's good too. I love when, hey, the band's gonna get 4 songs. We're gonna take a 3-song break. We're gonna play 4 more songs. I like that as well.
Mm. I'm a live music over DJ 24/7 guy. So.
Yeah, okay, but a band's not gonna be able to go from Sweet Caroline to Juvenile.
I mean, a good wedding band can. I will disagree with that. A good wedding band can hit
Find
all
me
genres.
the wedding band that can do Juvenile justice.
Easy. What do you mean?
And also do Neil Diamond justice.
I feel like there's a lot of those New Orleans wedding bands that can do that.
They can do good. And I love. I
do
also
agree that no band can do Boosie.
I love a live band. You know that. But still, like in a wedding venue, give me a mixture. Give me a mixture of both.
Yeah.
It's the best of both worlds. The band's going to rock it out, and then when you get a little sauced up and you want to get a little bit more sketchy, that's when the DJ comes in.
I've seen it before, and I've had great times at those before. But no, for me, I'll always be a.
Wow, way to speak in absolutes.
I'll always
Sith.
be a band. No.
That's what you're doing right now.
Yeah, you're being a Sith.
No, because I literally just said that I enjoy both. I literally just said if you want to go full DJ, band and DJ, both are great.
But you also said
preference.
Oh, now you're changing up the language.
Preference, I would always go band fully over everything.
I do love a live.
And like a great wedding band. Now, granted, these are gonna be the real expensive ones. Will have like multiple singers to cover all that genre, right? where different people, maybe it's like a male-female combo, and she's taking the lead here, he's taking the lead here, and they're kind of passing that baton.
Yeah, they can't do the whisper song.
Back and forth. Like, hey, little mama. Okay, yeah.
Can you imagine a band? They're like,
I think they can, dude. I think you cannot sell these bands short.
Again, they can do a great job of it, but I'm talking about if I'm at a wedding and I've got a babysitter for my 5 children and I'm at an 11, my vibe is going to be best with a mixture of both.
Champ says, my first wedding was a band, second was a DJ. My third and best wedding was a band and
Thank
DJ.
you, Champ.
oh, Lord. Third time's a charm.
All right, what song's going to get you on the dance floor quicker than any?
I'll try to think of an answer during the break. I almost don't know if there is one, though, because it could just be anything.
Yeah.
Almost any song. I love Bruno Mars at weddings.
Yeah, it's great.
And I know that's very stereotypical.
Yeah.
It's okay. That's okay, though. That's the problem. You don't, and I'm not talking to you, but I'm talking to everyone. Like, you don't have to find the thing that nobody else knows about. You don't have to find the band that only I like that band. And if they go mainstream, I don't like them anymore. It is okay to like things that other people like. It is okay to like things that the masses like. You don't always have to have the deepest of deep cuts.
Yeah.
I hate when people are like, oh, if it's not a deep cut, nah, I ain't doing it.
I agree.
It doesn't have to be.
And while something like Mr. Brightside may not be for me, congratulations to all of you young 20-year-old white people that love it so
just
much.
the whitest of white, Casper. Yes, it's not for me either, but enjoy it.
I mean, I've had a lot of fun dancing to it.
Yeah, enjoy it. Enjoy it.
I love me some Mr. Brightside.
Exactly, and you enjoy that.
Yeah.
Enjoy that.
All right,
and I'm not even white.
When we get back, let's close out hour number 2 of OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
I lost my sheet. Where are we at?
CommunitySteelCo.com in Gonzales, Louisiana. When you go to the website, T-Bob, you look in the top right corner, you click on Community Steel. It's going to pull up a map of exactly where they're located in Gonzales, Louisiana. And why is that important? Because they encourage you to come see them in Gonzales, Louisiana. They have already been open for 1 hour and 46 minutes and 28 seconds waiting on you. So if you're in the area today, go see them. Tell them what you need. Your needs are going to be met at Community Steel.
Community Steel Company, Community Steel Co. Like Jake said, right there in Gonzales, all your purlin, tubing, steel accessories, roofing, sheet metal, steel buildings. It's all there. It's all manufactured on site. Okay, so they go straight to the wholesaler. They get the steel. They manufacture it all themselves, meaning there's no middlemen jacking up the price on the back end. So you save money. And because they're local, they work with you. You form relationships. They know what makes you, your business, your needs tick and how to best serve them. Community Steel Company.
Get the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge app powered by Bayou Ford and tap the microphone icon to send us your thoughts in an audio message. Your message could be played on air during Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob, The Hunt Palmer Show, and after further review with Matt Moscone.
There's nothing chill about a hot, sweaty line. Unless you add Mountain Cold Refreshment. Coors Light. Choose chill.
Bayou Ford has $10,000 off F-150. $10,000 off the new 2024 Ford F-150. And all new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Performing is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. So it's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined we...
Charles Hanniger, join us for the Wednesday edition of Live at Lunch from Los Reyes Mexican Grill on Lee Drive. We're talking NBA draft with the Bird Rights, Ali Cosell. Scott Rabelais from The Advocate joins us, and Wes Reynolds from VEASAN. Live at Lunch, 11 a.m. Wednesday from Los Reyes on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
All right, so this is your song.
Well,
no, she was just saying like this is a wedding song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a wedding song.
It has become, the wedding song, according to my wife.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Your
We
wife
shot
would
thousands.
certainly know. Yeah, this is...
Every wedding we go to, she's like the old
Casper.
Captain of the crab boat smoking a cigarette, just like, just so like devoid of any good feeling or emotion, while I'm like tearing up at people that I don't even really know.
Yeah.
She's like, I've seen this crap a million times.
Okay, well, we went around the room during the break,
Yes.
and we were talking about song that's going to get you on the dance floor no matter what. And again, these aren't our favorite songs, but for whatever reason, they're going to get you on the dance floor. So this is what's going to get Alondra on the dance floor.
Oh, I'm there.
Hey,
I'm there.
This is absolutely one of my answers.
No doubt.
I think we're all there.
We're all there.
Yeah.
We're all on the dance floor.
Also, this
everybody
was-
agree? Everybody on the dance floor?
Yeah, we all on the
Okay.
dance
This was 06, 07, just real prime grinding
Yeah.
right here.
It all comes back to
Yeah.
I mean, straight high
Yeah.
school. Straight high school
Just
grind
let him
right
finish. One of my favorite stories of all time.
Take that. Rewind back. Somebody actually brought that story up again as I was
This
super. I mean,
weekend?
me and Caitlin were grinding at this wedding.
I mean, when you
I was
said she
sniffing-
played...
I was bent over like a zombie sniffing that booty.
Oh my God.
Instead of brains, I'm like,
On that note, this is what's going to get Jacob Beck on the dance floor. Yeah. Yeah. Every one of us is getting out there.
Absolutely, dude. Absolutely.
I'm wiping myself down.
This is good. Now, mine's probably not going to get everybody on there, but this is what's going to get me on the dance floor.
Oh no, I'm out there.
Okay, you're out there?
I'm out there.
Okay. Jake?
I'm doing
You're
the
out there?
robot.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see if we can get T-Bob out there with
Can
us.
you hear I don't really recognize that this much this far.
Really?
I would dance to it, but if I heard this, it has no like nostalgic hooks in me.
Oh, wow. This is getting like without question. Let's go.
Yeah.
Everybody with me. Everybody in the party with
Yeah.
me. You're with me. You're with. Let's go. We're all
Let's go.
going. All right. All right. Fair enough. T-Bob's not going to be
No,
with
I mean,
us.
what do you
fine.
mean? Again, guys, I'm out here for every song. You're not going to find me out here not having a song. I mean, I'm not going to be on the dance floor.
But T-Bob is for sure on the dance floor with this one.
It's so different from all of us.
This just, I mean, the footwork that you can get down on with this song is just, you feel like Future out there or something. Or not Future. What's his name? Who played it? Who got lost in the Golden Maze at the Super Bowl? The Weeknd. Like The Weeknd or like Michael Jackson or somebody out there. Or Bruno, I guess.
Or Bruno,
yeah. Obviously.
What? It was right there.
Again, and I know this is stereotypical, but ooh, I actually do love dancing to this song at weddings. Really do.
Look, I'm out there with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think all of these songs,
yeah.
I'm out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I can see T-Bob right now.
You can't even imagine the amount of moves I've got locked in for this
and
song.
honestly, okay, so we didn't pick one song that's the obvious one, because if you're from Louisiana, if you've ever lived in Louisiana, if you've whispered Louisiana and you hear Cash Money taking over for the 9-9 in the 2000s, if you're not on the dance floor, we're kicking you out of the state.
Yeah.
That's why none of us chose that song.
Yeah, I mean, again, these are all in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Shout Hall of Fame. There are songs that
Oh yeah, shout.
I like hearing every wedding because I don't work weddings. Maybe if I worked weddings, I would feel differently.
Yeah, put some liquor in it.
That's what I'm saying.
Have y'all ever had, I know we got like 36, have y'all ever seen
all I
Party Bob
need.
dance like at a party or
No,
wedding? Or
but I
oh
need this
man,
in my
it
life.
is. I've got a great video because we had a party, Katie's birthday, where it was like me, Katie, Caitlin, T-Bob, like pretty much on the dance floor by ourselves.
Yeah.
Great video.
Yeah. Hour 3 next.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Even though I feel like I've gotten significantly better even in the last year or so. I don't know why. I'm really coming into my own.
Well, yeah, it's T Cabo.
If you need somebody coming into your home, you want AccuTemp. AccuTemp of Baton Rouge, AccuTempBR.com for all your AC heating and electrical needs. Go with the place that has incredible reviews with thousands of reviews, a 4.9 on Google with over 3,000 reviews. And that's because their core guiding principle is service to the highest degree. So they take care of you. You need to take control of your comfort zone. You want a whole home generator for storm season, keep you and your family protected. AccuTemp's got your back, AccuTempBR.com.
And you do not want to be without AC right now. If you were anywhere in the area last weekend, it was the devil's lair hot, right? Over the weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Make sure that your air conditioner is working at its peak performance. AccuTemp's going to make sure of that when they come to your home. Schedule that appointment, AccuTempBR.com.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. So it's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques, Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I gotta come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back, OTB. Hour number 3. We got Bailey here in studio. U-High swimmer, go Cubs, shadowing for the next couple of days. Bailey, what's going on? Hop on the mic real quick. I'm not going to ask you to do too much here. Just say hello. What year? If you want to shout anybody out, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Bailey. Hi, I'm Bailey.
Hell yeah. What's your okay, so what is your
You gotta tell look, so I actually check my emails. You gotta tell them your last name because T-Bob's gonna appreciate your last name.
I'm Bailey Van Hoogstraten.
Van Hoogstraten.
I knew he'd love it.
Okay.
Yes.
Can we get a place of or a kind of an etymology, a place of origin for Van Hoogstraten?
It's German Dutch.
Okay.
Nice.
Right on.
Nice.
Very powerful.
Very powerful.
Combination there. And you're a swimmer?
I am.
That sounds horrible. Sounds very, very hard. I cannot fathom getting into that cold pool every morning and grinding out laps. How do you? Where do you go in your mind when you're just on one of those super long conditioning training sessions?
The pool that we swim at has a underwater speaker.
What?
So
Wait, hold up.
Yeah.
There's an underwater speaker.
Mm-hmm.
No
so we just
way.
kind of listen to music.
Okay, what do y'all listen to while you're swimming?
We have a team playlist, and
Okay.
it's kind of a mix of everything.
Heck yeah, dude. Very cool. Well, that actually seems like a way better than I've
Yeah.
always just pictured. So like cold and tired and monotonous and alone. At least there's maybe a brief respite there with the underwater speaker. What year in school are you?
I'm gonna be a senior next year.
Nice. Okay. So when does the season start?
September maybe.
Okay. So we're in summer training
Yes.
right now. Ooh, a brutal time. A
Yes.
brutal time. But this is where the foundation of success is laid. Well, heck yeah, Bailey. We're happy to have you here. You're going to be here the next
Thank
couple
you
of
for
days
having
shadowing?
me. I am.
All right, cool. I'm going to give you a special assignment or something to do on air. We'll figure it out. You seem very comfortable on the mic. I just kind of threw you in the deep end. Get it? And you've done great, Bailey. Good job.
Thank you.
Good job.
Yeah, well done.
All right. So Nookie in the chat is our resident Dutch correspondent because he used to live there, and he says it means off the of the corner street. It's the literal translation of the corner street. Bilbo saying LSU has underwater speakers as well in the pool. I had no idea that was even going on.
Didn't know that was a thing.
Nowadays.
Didn't know that was a possibility.
Neither did I.
I don't know if you can tell, T-Bob. You and I maybe not the best body type to be swimmers.
No. I'm not. I don't like holding my breath. No. You know, I love swimming in the ocean because you feel so buoyant and just chill. But like, you can tread water forever.
I've always said you feel buoyant when you're in the ocean.
You do.
Always.
You said that
You
the other
do.
day, yeah.
You should have seen me in Mexico. I was just curled into the fetal position like a little baby, letting Mother Earth cradle me and just carry me back into her bosom. I felt very deeply connected with the ocean, although my foot is just shredded from hitting a rock. It looks so gross, and I keep having to clean it. It turns out those ocean rocks pretty nasty.
I thought the salt water was supposed to clean everything.
I've never understood that either, because salt water does clean, right? But like any time I've gotten my foot cut on like a piece of coral or rock, it takes forever to heal. Even if you're like constantly applying like alcohol and Neosporin and everything else. So I don't understand it fully. But
you cannot take a day off for having a cut on your foot.
I would never. I got right back in that ocean. Okay. I'm not scurry. Avo Marzwani says city championship meet this weekend at the LSU Natatorium. Go Stingrays. Cool. Heck yeah. Swim team, not for me. I basically, even though I never even considered being on the swim team, I had like unfounded nightmares about showing off my body in a Speedo to my peers. That seemed like probably the single most terrifying thing a junior high T-Bob could have ever done.
You were the opposite. You were shorts that hit you in the mid-shin.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Baggy shorts,
Yeah.
long socks, headbands, all that. I would.
I feel like we need to move on before you get too deep into the T-Bob and a Speedo talk.
Well, it's also like, it's like when I like kind of started wrestling in high school, beginning of high school, like being in a singlet in front of everybody.
Yeah.
Again, just not, when you're insecure about your body, it's a tough place to be.
Yeah.
It's a very, and there's not a more insecure about your body age than kind of like junior high and high school. So, God, I'm just having a lot of insecure flashbacks now. You want to talk about Brent Venables?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Okay, so Brent Venables yesterday given announced that he was given an extension, and I got to say, I was when I heard this news, my initial reaction was head scratching. Okay, my initial reaction was, well, look, obviously the administration believes in him. Maybe they know something that we don't. Maybe they're wanting to prioritize stability in their transition to the SEC. But still, to me, I immediately thought of things like the Les Miles extension in, I believe it was 2013, where clearly the program was still good, but going in the wrong direction. And he had years left, but because Arkansas came calling, you gave him this huge extension with a massive buyout, right? That maybe you didn't really need to. In fact, it ended up being the reason why you couldn't move on from him in all of the Jimbo Fisher drama, which in fact, ironically, ended up working out better in the end for everybody. So whatever, the universe works in mysterious ways. But I immediately thought about that. I immediately thought about the Jimbo Fisher extension after 2020. And I'm like, man, like why do the schools feel so much pressure to make these moves when it doesn't seem like anybody's really like forcing them to? But then I saw the numbers and I kind of came around to it, Jake. So it's a 6-year, $46 million extension to the 2029 season, but basically it's an average annual value of $8.5 a year. He made 7 last year. Basically, he made 7 last year. He's going to make it 8 this year. You know?
Yep.
That's not crazy. In fact, that's a bargain when you look at the SEC. I mean, I know you're going to accuse me of just wanting to do more Kentucky hate.
Always.
But I would rather pay Brent Venables $8 million a year than Mark Poop's $9 million. Like at least Brent Venables beat Texas last year. Should have. But there. Okay, this is the question that I would pose to you.
Oh.
I mean, you think you'd rather pay Mark Poop's $9 million than Venables $8 million?
I think a lot of Mark Stoops. That's laid out plenty of time on here. So yes, I would.
But to me, this is not and granted, this would all kind of hinge on what the buyout is in this extension, but I kind of feel if you're only making $8 million, the buyout's not going to be that crazy. So it's like, this actually makes sense for Oklahoma. It's $1 million raise after you go from 7-6 to 10-2. I'm going to do regular season, 10-2. I won't count the bowl loss for the reasons that they had 5 new offensive linemen, new quarterback, all that stuff.
And Arizona's a better team. But
my question is, I think full strength it would have been closer with Dillon Gabriel.
But Arizona was a really good team.
Oh, Arizona was great. Arizona was great. That's why I'm not counting the bowl game. It was a great team against an Oklahoma team that had completely changed.
Look, one of the things though, when we're talking about Brent Venables in Oklahoma, that I think a lot of people just forget about. Honestly, they know that he was at Oklahoma before. This is his 15th year to be at Oklahoma in some capacity as either an assistant or a head coach.
I didn't know that. That's crazy.
You know who's been the athletic director that entire time? Joe Castiglione.
Oh,
the entire time that Brent Venables has been there, right? He's been there. So he knows this man inside and out. He trusts him, obviously. That's why whenever that job became open, they went and hired a guy that had never had head coaching experience to take over one of the top programs in the country. And they're going to move forward with Brent Venables. They feel like he is the guy. I told you, like conversations at SEC spring meetings, Castiglione loves Brent Venables.
Yeah. Well, and to be fair, okay, so I think it's not a financially insane contract at all. It is a steal compared to a lot of the SEC. And also, Jake, I guess so much, and this would be my question to Oklahoma fans, was last year a success? I think Oklahoma may have had the single most confusing year in all of college football. Because you beat Texas and you won 10 regular season games. Two things that should have been an unqualified success, especially coming from being 7-6. But you beat Texas and you should have held them out the playoff. You should have held them out the Big 12 championship. But you blew it. You blew it to Oklahoma State in the last chance you ever had in a rivalry that you have completely dominated. Completely. Like to the point where it hasn't even really been exciting. You blew it on the way out, and you blew it against Kansas, resulting in Texas not just winning the Big 12, but going to the playoff. And you should have held them from all that. So it's a mixed bag. That said, it is 10 wins, and I think I can see why that gets $1 million extension. So I did not understand this at first, but when you combine the improvement from 6-7 to 10-3, when you look at 3 top 10 classes in a row, he's putting together his 3rd top 10 class in a row. They've done very well in the transfer portal. I actually came around to understanding, and I've been a big Brent Venables doubter, but I actually came around to understanding why economically this makes sense for Oklahoma in the situation that they're in. I don't think this is any real super long-term commitment here through 2029. I think this is just trying to show these recruits that he has another full cycle, although we know if things go poorly enough, they will come up with the money to pay whatever the buyout is.
Yeah, and they've done really well in recruiting as well.
Very well.
They make an improvement from year 1 to year 2. And Brent Venables was very out front about where their roster was even before they only won 7 games, right? He's like, look, we lost a lot when Lincoln left. We're trying to rebuild it. We have a process. We have a plan to rebuild it, but it ain't going to be this year. And, well, they go out and, they had a great year with Dillon Gabriel. Now, Jeff Lebby leaves, and so you're going a different direction on offense, and you were really good on offense a year ago, so this year's going to be a big year for them, and they got a difficult schedule. The SEC did them no favors when it came to scheduling. I mean, every time I look at someone's schedule, Oklahoma's on it. Like all the big boys, it feels like they have to play.
We talked about this yesterday. There is not a team, as we've been doing this schedule exercise and trying to predict what everybody's going to do, we've been trying to remain cognizant of what do we choose this team to go? Does it make sense for both of these teams to have this record? There is not a team, Jake, that will decide who makes the playoffs more than Oklahoma. Like, I do not believe Oklahoma will make it, but your Ole Miss, your Mizzou, your LSU, every team that is in that tier of will they be 9-3 or will they be 10-2, the game that decides that is almost Oklahoma like every single time.
Yeah.
So, again, I don't know what role they will have in terms of being the main character, but they are probably by far the most impactful NPC in the SEC next year. And we'll see what Brent Venables can do, but it's going to be – but, I mean, again, you're extending him at a time, which I do understand the extension, but you are doing it at a time in which I just feel like he's been dealt a terrible hand. Texas has a way more friendly schedule. Texas is way ahead talent-wise. Texas has the quarterback returning. Oklahoma's working in a new one. It's an unenviable position. It's an unenviable position for Brent.
Stop. Here is the Oklahoma schedule.
Good,
all right. You've got Temple at home. Then you've got the Willie Fritz Bowl back-to-back weeks. You have Houston at home, Tulane at home. So Temple, Houston, Tulane. Then you've got Tennessee at home.
It's actually
so
a
4
nice
straight
3
home
games, though, to get Jackson Arnold kind of lubed up for the SEC.
Against, not great opponents, but quality opponents that are going to test you.
And like a stair step, you're arguably getting, Tulane and Houston maybe not equal. But yeah, from Temple to start to those next 2 teams, that's a jump. And then you get the big jump to Tennessee.
So you have Tennessee at home. So 4 straight home games. Then you go on the road to Auburn, okay? Bye week. And then that's when it gets interesting for Oklahoma. You play Texas and Dallas. You play South Carolina at home. You're at Ole Miss. You have Maine, which we're not going to count that. So South Carolina at home, at Ole Miss, at Missouri, bye week, Alabama at LSU. So you've got 4 of your last 5 games. And if we throw Maine out there, at Ole Miss, at Missouri, Alabama, at LSU. Preseason rankings, at number 6, at number 7, number 9 at home, at number 12.
And what did we just say? We've discussed kind of the tiers of the SEC and how maybe it's like Georgia, Texas, then everybody fighting for that 3rd playoff spot. It's like Alabama, LSU, Tennessee, Ole Miss, Mizzou. You literally play all of them. That's why how Oklahoma does will decide the fate of who the of who makes the playoffs out of the SEC. And LSU's got him what? Death Valley, last game of the season?
Yep.
Exciting stuff. Who knows? By that time, maybe more like Brent vulnerable as
That's better.
They've dropped a couple.
You're getting better. That's better.
I thought unenviable was pretty damn good.
I know, but it's like you had to overemphasize one portion of it to make sure that it hit.
Yeah.
Where that one just rolled off the tongue.
I just had to put a little emphasis on the correct syllable.
Yeah.
Okay. How about them Nova Knicks?
They got better yesterday.
Mikal Bridges went to Villanova, right?
Feels like he did.
Am I crazy? Like, isn't that the whole story? But I don't know anything about this move, actually. I do want to get into the Pelicans new GM here in a little bit, but
like a ton. Like, have you seen how many draft picks?
4 unprotected first-round picks with the Nets.
Not only did he go to Villanova, he's also from Philadelphia. So, like, as Villanova as it can be. And that's now what? 4 of your starters went to Villanova?
Yeah. And including everybody that made you the that went on the playoff run that kind of had everybody all fired up here recently.
They just don't even care about draft picks in the NBA, do they?
No.
Like, hey, you want 8 draft choices, 8 first rounders for this player? And we give you 6 unprotecteds for Kevin Durant.
Draft picks in the NBA kind of suck.
Unless you got like a top 10.
Yeah.
Not even a full lottery for sure.
Like in terms of like this guy's definitely going to be good. I feel like the only time people ever feel that's like top 5. And even that is going to miss all the time. There's just not enough roster spots to go around. And then every now and then you just get lucky and you find a Herb Jones in the second round. Or, in fact, we'll get into it when we talk about the new Pelicans GM, but the guy they just hired, apparently Bryson Graham, one of his big wins was he was one of the main minds and driving forces behind them trading back and then selecting Trey Murphy, which at 17, which has worked out really, really well. So, yeah, and there's a lot of Trae Young smoke with the Pellies as well. We can get to it next here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
CentralPlumbing.org, 925-8552. CentralPlumbing.org is the website. That's the phone number. And, it's plumbing. You know? Any problem with your pipes, anything goes wrong, they've been at it for over 50 years. 50. So they've seen it all. They can fix it all. You're not going to hit them with a problem that they don't know how to solve. So anything goes wrong, hit up the Payne family. and experience a painless process as Central Plumbing fixes your problems.
Go to centralplumbing.org today. And remember, it's not
the owners.
It's not only in emergency services. Now, 24/7, 365, weekend, holiday, whatever, they can come out, they can fix your issue. But centralplumbing.org, you can see what they can do for you in the remodel game at your home or your business. You can also find the tankless water heater information. Never run out of hot water again. You can get that done with Central Plumbing, centralplumbing.org.
Our listeners fire up their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. So it's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner.
Join me for a Wednesday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show. It's a What If Wednesday, the latest from college baseball's transfer portal and any drama involving the Aggies and the Longhorns, plus the NBA draft. Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Classic wedding jam here.
Yeah.
Bryson Graham, the new Pelicans GM. Of course, Trajan Langdon taking his talents to the Motor City, going to join the Detroit Pistons, bringing Fred Vinson with him, which, Vinsons me off a little bit because he was such a good shooting coach.
Yeah, but also, like, Fred's been here for a minute and you hadn't won anything, so.
Yeah. That's, I mean, I guess
not to besmirch who he is. I'm just saying
no, but
maybe
his
a fresh
job
start
is not
for everybody.
Yeah, I agree. But his job's not necessarily like wins and losses. It's like teach this guy to shoot, and he's pretty awesome at that.
Yeah, he's good at it, but new beginnings.
New beginnings. So Bryson Graham, new job, same house. He's been in the Pelicans organization for about a decade and a half now, about 15 years. He started, and that's actually one of the things I love about the NBA. There is not a sport where you can actually rise in the front office more through just grindy work than the NBA, right? Like you see film guys become GMs eventually, become coaches eventually. He started as a basketball operations intern in 2010 and 2011.
Yeah.
Assistant GM over the last 5 years. We mentioned one of the driving forces in 2021 of trading back and drafting Trey Murphy. And the interesting thing for Graham here, a couple. First off, he gets the job at a time where the Pelicans actually have some big offseason moves to make. I want to get into Trae Young and Brandon Ingram in a second. But I guess the question I want to ask first is, though, while there are a bunch of moves to make, is being the GM in New Orleans, are you actually the GM? Or is it David Griffin? Because David Griffin has always felt like the face of all the moves, and the GM is taking some off of his plate. But like if push comes to shove, ultimately David Griffin is making the choices.
I would say that it is Griffin's decision. Certainly, like if you're about to trade BI, it doesn't matter what the GM really wants to do.
Yeah.
And if you're wondering, like, kind of a comp of what we're talking about, just think of an offensive coordinator where his head coach calls plays. Like, we all know that situation,
yes,
right? That's what it is.
That's the analogy that I was looking for. Very good call.
You're helping out in putting the run game together and some of the combinations, and you have a voice in the room. But at the end of the day, when the first 15 plays are put together, it's the head coach. Whenever the play goes into the quarterback, it's the head coach. So, yeah, you're there as the Pelicans GM, and you're making suggestions and, hey, I like this guy in the draft, this guy in free agency, this guy might be available. But at the end of the day, it's David Griffin. He's making all of those calls, and he's pushing the final button to push anything across.
So it's still a very good move for Graham. I mean, as proven, like Trajan Langdon will now get to be that guy in Detroit.
Yeah, I think he's like president. Like he has all the say in Detroit.
So if you have success here, even if Griffin is making the final calls, it's there is a proven pathway to getting to that next level. But yeah, apparently right now, the Lakers, Pelicans, and Spurs, Alondra, are working on a three-way trade that would potentially end with Brandon Ingram going elsewhere and Trae Young finding his way to New Orleans, which I think would be very exciting. In terms of now, the Pelicans would still need to get a rim protect somewhere through the draft, some other moves. But like, if you're going to tell me that we'd have to see the exact details of the trade. But if you're going to tell me that you somehow end up with Trae Young while moving on from Brandon Ingram, that feels like a win to me. It also feels like him and Zion could have some very complementary skill sets in terms of their styles of game.
And that's what you're looking for. You're looking for somebody that is different than what you currently have, because Brandon Ingram's still a really good NBA player, but you're looking for a different skill set to match what you currently have.
Yes.
And I think Trae Young gives you that. Just last year, he averages 25 per game, right? Almost 11 assists, though. That's what you're looking for. Like, you're looking for a facilitator, because CJ's not a natural point guard. He's just not. Like, he can do it, and he's done it in the past, but he's more of a 2 than he is a point guard.
Yeah, and he made himself into one of the best shooters in the NBA last year, being a 2, that catch-and-shoot guy. So let him do that.
So for 2 years in a row, Trae Young has averaged over 10 assists per game.
Come on now.
That's crazy.
Come on now, T! Also, Trae Young's camp saying that the idea of playing with the Pelicans he finds, quote, appealing.
He's still 25 years old, too.
Don't roll your eyes, Beck. He said it's appealing, okay? We've come a long way from the days where players would rather jump off of a bridge than find their way to the Hilario Center.
That's true.
Where the Pelicans' reputation as a professional organization used to be a complete fart At least now, it's maybe like some polite flatulence where nobody even mentions it.
So if you went, you'd have Trae Young, CJ, Herb, Zion, question mark.
I mean,
right?
yes. And if you fill that with a good, like an okay big, that's a really good team.
Yeah, now I don't think you want, because I think you want to keep Larry Nance exactly where he's at and great rotational piece coming off the bench because you have Jose, you would have Larry Nance, and then like.
I mean, don't they want more rim protection? Wasn't that one of the big knocks on Valanciunas?
Yes.
The defensively.
Jordan Hawkins would still be on your bench as well.
Ooh.
Like, because I think Najee Marshall's going to get paid somewhere else.
He's gone.
Yeah, he's going to get paid somewhere else. Damn. You ain't going to bring him back. But you still have a deep bench.
Yeah, I know.
But you got to get, and we talked about it yesterday with your draft, like, you got to get, a big man. You got to get a rim protector. And you're not picking somewhere in the draft that's going to give you a for sure thing, though.
No. Like, you cannot rely on the draft to be your starter. No, never. I mean, again, you can't rely on the NBA draft for anything.
Very fair.
You just guess, and if you get lucky, you're like, hey, check it out. Look at us. We're smart. Which actually, I do credit the Pelicans for kind of getting lucky more often, striking on gold on Trey Murphy and Herb Jones. Like that man, Christian Hawkins, too, potential. Dyson Daniels. Like Trey DeLington actually did a really fantastic job of scouting and drafting. So here's hoping that Bryson Graham can keep it going.
Let's see with the latest mock draft. You mentioned the big out of
Baylor.
I mean, there's just,
Massa.
Filipowski from Duke will probably be available, but I don't think that's what you're looking for. Yes, he can play the center position, but I don't think you're looking for that.
More like Flopowski.
Probably he played for Duke.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Philip on this.
Nope.
Slushy.
Nope.
Ware from Indiana is a center in this draft.
Where is he from?
Khalil Ware from Indiana.
Oh, okay. That's where.
Yeah, averaged 16 and 10 last year for Indiana. Could be available, 7-footer.
IEDK, where Zach's going to go.
Zach?
Edie. IEDK.
Oh, what? I didn't know you're what?
You're trying way too hard.
It was a stretch.
Yeah.
That was a stretch.
Yeah.
I am trying. But you miss all the shots you don't take. I believe that's an old Wayne Gretzky quote.
It's 100% of the shots you don't take.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, do all my puns land?
No.
But I'm going to keep hacking.
Almost
and we
none of
know.
them do.
I ain't scared.
Yeah, most of them bomb.
Yep.
That's patently untrue. It's not
No,
true.
it's
I'd say I hit about 75% of the time.
75%.
75% of the time. I'm like a solid big man free throw shooter.
I'll give you 65.
What?
No, Laundra.
I know. I'm being nice.
At
I'm
best,
gonna give you
50-50.
I'm
That's
like
just because we love you.
I'm like a Pro Bowl quarterback.
And sometimes they're
68%
so
of the
bad that
time.
I can't help but laugh because
Exactly.
they're just that bad.
But that's when you know when they really work.
Zach Edey, by the way, in the latest mock draft is going 17 overall to the Lakers, so maybe.
Okay.
You really want Zach Edey?
No, I just wanted to do a Edey pun.
Okay.
No.
I mean, he's got.
I do not care about basketball rookies. When I tell you, you could draft any name, and I would just throw my hands up and say, okay. Like, I do not care. You never know if they're going to be good or not. Let's just wait and see.
So Zach Edey is not what the Pelicans are looking for. Jacob, to your point, he is an elite finisher. He draws a ton of fouls, as we saw down the stretch there in the NCAA tournament. Incredible as far as setting screens. Can do all that at a pretty elite level. Defending the rim ain't one of those things, though. And I think that's what you're looking for if you're the Pelicans.
Yeah, that's the main thing.
But
you don't need scoring.
Yeah, you don't need actually Valanciunas and Edey probably kind of very similar to each other with ball skills and scoring and drawing fouls and finishing. Okay. You need somebody that when you drive in there, you know that it's going to be an issue.
I agree. That is the main goal. Gulf South, could T-Bob point to Indiana on a map? Absolutely not. Bailey, could you point to Indiana on a map if we gave you a blank map of the U.S.?
I think so.
For real?
I think so.
Wow.
Okay, Bailey, did you
high
also know
education.
that New Jersey was a state and not just a city?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, so she's above you.
Objection, leading the witness.
Did you
told her the
know-
answer in the question. Thank
Did you know that? Wait, what is it again? The Toronto thing.
Oh, you better come correct.
No, but you know it. No, but you're the one that told me this.
Minneapolis
Blew my mind.
is north of Toronto. That's crazy.
Did you know that?
That's crazy.
That Minneapolis
Minnesota.
Minnesota is north of Toronto, Canada.
Yeah. There you go. I had no
Doesn't
idea
that blow
either.
your mind?
I agree. Thank you, Alonso. That is the correct reaction. Okay, I'm going to try to point Indiana out. Oh, right here.
Shut up.
That's not right.
There's
no way you think that. There's no way.
No, I swear to you, that's like
be for
Idaho.
real.
That's Idaho.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's Idaho. Okay, my bad.
Be for real.
I was not joking. I feel like I saw that on Indiana's jerseys.
Okay.
That's Idaho?
Yes.
Oh, there's a lot of squares here, guys.
Yeah.
This is Indiana.
That's Montana.
That is.
Ah, beautiful country. I love Missouri.
That's where Taylor's at right now.
Taylor's there, yeah.
I got no idea.
Jeez,
I got no
Keep
idea.
up, come
Bailey,
on.
hold on, Bailey. You go. You go.
Point it out.
Point it out on Beck's screen
On
and
his-
see if
yeah.
see if it's correct.
That's correct.
Where's she pointing?
It's right there, by the way.
one.
What?
Yep, that's it. Yep.
It's that east?
Yep.
What? Where'd you think
Okay,
it was?
He thought it was west, obviously. He was
Obviously,
pointing
I
all
thought
over
it was
there.
over here and all these
Wait,
squares.
You thought like Bobby Knight was over there?
Yeah.
Oh
You thought
my
Antoine
gosh.
Randall was over there?
Why do we call it the Midwest? It's the Mideast.
Well, I agree with that. Ohio's
It's the Middle East. We call
Ohio's
it
the Midwest. I'm like, no, it's not.
Yeah,
what are
I've
we
been
doing?
sold a bill of goods. Of course you
Okay.
think of Indiana as
Hold
the
on.
Midwest.
Take that
It's
down.
like
Take
the
that down real
most
quick. Take
Midwest
that down because I want to
culturally.
ask him a question real quick.
I don't think it's the Midwest.
Go back to the map that we had on there originally.
You don't think Indiana is the Midwest when you think of Midwestern culture? That's
Yeah,
insane.
it's no
You're batch. Oops. You're crazy.
You didn't say it.
I did not
What
say
state
it.
is this? This is Indiana.
Yeah.
What is this?
If
If you're listening on the radio, west of Indiana.
yeah, the
Okay.
state right next
So that's something that's like by the chef's
The chef,
hat.
the whole
There's
chef's
the
right
chef.
there. Yeah, right there. This is mind blowing to me. that you-
Ohio.
That's Ohio
Oh
to the
my
east of
I was close though.
Indiana.
I was
How do you
close,
not know
though.
that? You spent a week of your time
was about
in
to
this
say.
state right here
When?
in Illinois.
Oh, that's Illinois.
That's Illinois, and you have no idea
Right
where
there
it's
on the
at.
Great Lakes. Huh. So Chicago must be in like in the northeast corner of it, I guess. Somewhere in there.
Yes.
Yeah, because it's on the water. How about that?
This blows my mind.
Hey,
Had no idea where he was.
yeah, I've
Bailey,
never had a
Pay,
moment
just
in
pay
real
attention
life.
in school.
I've never had a
Pay attention
moment in
school,
real life
you
where
know?
geography has mattered at all. I mean, Idaho, Indiana, both start with I's. I feel like I was pretty close. Huh. Iowa, Illinois, and Indiana are all by each other. They all start with I's.
Did you know that
you not learn
Yellowstone
that in
was in
school?
all three of those states?
I have no idea
In
where Yellowstone
Montana,
is.
Wyoming,
Nope,
and Idaho?
Nope. No idea where Yellowstone is. Don't
Like,
even try me.
you thought the Big Ten was out there in Wyoming and Indiana?
Yeah. Yeah, I just figured all this was the Big Ten. All the square states. Like literally just all
That's
of
the
it.
Mountain West.
So everything's just on the East Coast then. There's just nothing going on past the
Yeah,
Mississippi.
okay, so Denver, Colorado, okay? My in-laws used to live in Topeka, Kansas,
Squares.
okay? When you drive from here to there ain't nothing but tumbleweeds.
Yeah.
That's all there
Makes
is.
sense.
Tumbleweeds and,
Makes
and
sense.
windmills.
Makes
That's
sense.
all there is, okay? That's a lot of this.
I'd like to
All
see a
this right
windmill.
here, tumbleweeds. Not Big Ten.
Flyover country. You know?
Yeah. Well, I'm not even trying to fly over those, really.
No, too many mountains.
Where I'm trying
Plane
to, yeah.
crashes.
Yeah. Unless I'm going to Colorado. Colorado's great.
Join the MMR group today and ignite your career. We are so proud to be partnered with the MMR group here on Off the Bench. Louisiana's largest, the nation's largest privately owned electrical and instrumentation contractor. They have offices all over the globe, but they are headquartered right here in Baton Rouge, okay? And so if you're a college student seeking internship, Bailey, maybe you're in high school, like, what am I going to do? Okay, well, explore what the MMR group can offer you. You like outstanding benefits, a dynamic culture, getting sent on adventures all around the world. They can tell you what courses to take and everything, but maybe you're already in this line of business, you're just starting out, or you're a seasoned pro. Either way, we have a variety of positions available for you at MMR. Apply now at MMRGRP.com. That's MMRGRP.com. More OTB coming up next.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to Pinnacle Exterior Construction today. PECbuilt.com is the website if you want to see the absolutely fantastic gallery. It's going to blow you away. And remember, we're looking for designers and project managers if you want to explore whether or not Pinnacle is for you. I always mention the custom pools you can build, the spec pools where you choose from a variety of different templates, and then you have detail work within the templates where you make it your own. What if you already have a pool and it needs maintenance? Guess what? Pinnacle has your back. You just want a one-time clean to get that thing kind of re-juiced for the summer. They got you, but they also have year-round maintenance plans to make sure that your pool is good to go when you need it. Pinnacle Exterior Construction.
Do you want artificial turf maybe in your yard so you can have a putting green, so you can have a place to work out, so you can have a place that you don't have to mow, that you're not going to have weeds growing up through? Maybe it's a storage situation for you. They can come install that turf in your yard as well. PECbuilt.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644.
Moscona inviting you to join us for Wednesday's Hump Day AFR, presented by Pluckers. Jim Schlossnagle leaving Texas A&M for Texas. The domino effects in the portal, how do they impact LSU? We're talking about it. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Well, you know you make me wanna kick my heels up.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Hey, I cannot be more honest about the fact that this geography thing is not a bit. I've just filled my head with so much other useless knowledge that maps just don't stick at all. And it sucks because as a fan of history, it would be really nice if the maps did work.
Yeah, that's the part that, because you are such a history buff, like I just figured that you would know everything.
I'm having to like constantly reference things when I'm reading.
It's not just North America you don't know. It's Europe as well.
No,
you thought Germany was landlocked.
I mean, why didn't they have a better Navy? I don't know. U-boats.
U-boats were kind of a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, the worst test grade I've ever gotten in my life. I'll never forget it because of this. But in junior high, we did the European countries test, and I got a 13 out of 100. Pretty sure like the only ones I got right were like England and France. Maybe Italy, because it was, it's Italy. It's the boot. How could you not? Right? It's like a high heel. Our local resident Pelicans correspondent, Chance Hester, texting in.
God, he loves the Pelicans.
And saying, some are saying if the Pels make a trade with Atlanta, it'll be for DeJounte Murray. Griff and Willie prefer him over Trae Young, but apparently Zion has vocalized he wants to play with Trae. I'll take either. Thank you. I don't really have a preference.
I think I've kind of talked myself into Trae now.
I kind of have too a little bit, but I think that's probably like the more surface level, like, ooh, look at the shiny, cool thing. Whereas, if you're like an actual ball head, maybe you're more into DeJounte Murray. But,
Big day of footy.
T-Bob, are you good with Game of Thrones maps? Yeah, I actually have
it
memorized.
Great, actually.
Because we played that Game of Thrones board game. We used to play every single week when Thrones was on with an old board game group I had in New Orleans. And so, I know that map like the back of my hand. I also can name pretty good at Middle-earth as well. Much better than real life. What's going on footy-wise today? Boca and Euros?
Wait,
Copa?
What did I say? Boca? Boca Raton. The Boca Raton
Dude
Classic.
wants to go back on vacation.
I know. So I think since
Mexico
Alondra
plays
put
today.
this together, I think we need our stoppage time.
Oh, wait, hold on. Let me grab
I feel
it.
bad that Alondra put all these great intros when Flynn comes in and others come in
I know.
and we don't use them.
Well, we used the Flynn one. And the
We use Champagne Shenanigans.
We use
Use that
Champagne
one. We use Tay-Tay's NFL Story of the
Yeah,
Day.
I know. So I'm saying, we need to use them. So I feel like if we're going to talk footy.
Wow.
I didn't know we were going to do
Whatever.
this.
Your Taylor energy is out of control
Stop.
right now.
Just because
Alondra.
Taylor's not here.
Don't do this to
Thank you
me.
for doing your
doesn't
best
mean you have to
Tay-Tay
take
impression.
Oh, here we go.
For Club and Country. And just about 90 seconds.
You can do it longer for 90.
This is stoppage time on Off the Bench.
No, I feel like, 90 seconds is what I was given. We talked about it a long time ago when we put this together. So here it is, Copa
Take as long as you
America.
want, dude.
You're going to have Ecuador taking on Jamaica. That game is going to be in Vegas. You got Venezuela taking on Mexico. That one is going to be in SoFi Stadium in Inglewood,
that
California.
Mexican player's out.
Yeah, Edson Alvarez out for the rest of the tournament. Really not good for them.
And we never
only has
root
90 seconds.
on this side of the table. We never root for Mexico because that is the United States'
On this
biggest
side,
rival.
yes.
I said,
The
yeah,
enemy.
I know. It's always on that side, no matter who it ever was. It was Danny. Now it is you. Over in Europe for the Euros, the European Championship, you got Slovakia taking on Romania, and then you've got Ukraine taking on Belgium. You got the Czech Republic taking on Turkey. You've got Georgia, not the Bulldogs, taking on Portugal. So Romania, Slovakia, going to be a very important game because in their group, everyone is tied with 3 points.
Huh.
Same thing, right? So you got Ukraine, Belgium, Romania, Slovakia, all with a win, no draws, and a defeat.
Very Eastern European, very traveler with Romania and Slovakia taking on one another.
Tell you what, Portugal, who is a big favorite over Georgia today, looks
How are
like
they a favorite?
potentially
They've never won a SEC championship.
that's fair.
That's
Potentially, they could be one of the leaders in the clubhouse because the two leaders coming into the tournament, France and England, have not looked good, and
No.
Portugal's look great.
They
So has
have.
Spain.
Yep.
Allez les bleus. We're just saving ourselves.
How about this?
Group stage is boring.
UEFA have officially confirmed that Denmark finished ahead of Slovenia in Group C because of a yellow card that their coach got. Because other than that, they finished level on points, goal difference, goals scored, and yellow cards shown to players.
Yep. So that's the next measure.
I guess at that point, there's no. I guess like you're just so unlucky that you have to go that deep in a tiebreaker, but that sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, that really sucks. Not like a time spent leading metric or anything like that. TSL. All right, when we get back, close of the show next. OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go Tommy's. Tommy's Windows, Doors, and Siding, okay? You need windows, doors, and siding. You want Tommy's. The website is gotommys.com, G-E-A-U-X, Tommys.com. And I want to encourage you to make Tommy's one of the bids on your next job. That's how confident I am. I'm not just telling you to outright use them because I'm telling you to, okay? Make them a bid. Have them come out to your home, whether you're getting a hardy plank or vinyl siding, wood or vinyl windows, any type of door. Have them come out. Have them show you what they offer, give you the pitch, and let them sell you on why they are the best people for your job and why they've won that Angie Service Award 7 years in a row. When you work with Tommy's, you will see the difference clearly. GEAUX Tommys.com.
When you go to the website, we always encourage you. Of course, like you can check out, all the awards that they've won and all the different things, but check out the gallery because you'll see there's so many different custom jobs in there. Nothing's going to be too big, too difficult for Tommy and the team. GoTommys.com.
Get the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge app powered by Bayou Ford and tap the microphone icon to send us your thoughts in an audio message. Your message could be played on air during Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob, The Hunt Palmer Show, and after further review with Matt Moscone.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to.
Charles Hanniger, join us for the Wednesday edition of Live at Lunch from Los Reyes Mexican Grill on Lee Drive. We're talking NBA draft with the Bird Rights, Ali Cosell. Scott Rabelais from The Advocate joins us, and Wes Reynolds from VEASAN. Live at Lunch, 11 a.m. Wednesday from Los Reyes on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Yeah, T-Bob, just stop. Just stop. Hey,
you
Hunt
do that
Palmer. Hold on real quick. Hunt Palmer coming in here talking about soccer inside the Bayou Ford chat, okay? You go out there and watch a 4.5-hour baseball game just to watch the Cubs lose 4-3. Okay, I'll take 90 minutes of nonstop action, no commercials. The ball never stops moving, okay? And by the way, like, soccer doesn't count by sevens. And so when you see a match that was 3-2 yesterday, all right, think about if it was football, it'd be 5 touchdowns, okay? So the scoring's a little bit different. And I can enjoy a 1-0 game, okay? I can watch that. Yes, it was. Be quiet, okay? And also, people watching Germany and Hungary, 22.5 million in the United States, okay?
Wow.
Watching England yesterday, 24.9 million people.
You think they're full?
Just yesterday.
You think they're full yet?
Would you shut up?
So just these.
I'm trying to hate on Hunt right now for liking baseball, a sport that is an old man's game, right? Okay? And
My bad.
a sport that is nonstop for 90 minutes, okay? Watch 1 Euro game.
Yeah.
Or Copa America, because it's 2 different sports.
You're supposed to see double team. Watch a little U.S. Uruguay. Come on, dude. Ask the bench. I'm taking my wife to our anniversary. We're on the North Shore. Where should we go eat? I don't know North Shore
I know
restaurants.
the North Shore.
No idea.
I don't think I've ever stopped in the North Shore.
Whoa, okay. No, you know,
I like
so
doing it.
dismissive, dude.
I've never have. There's a great Starbucks right when you get into the North Shore,
Go get you a
because
little
I never
croissant.
stop there unless I'm going to Florida or Alabama or something.
Can you at least pronounce it correctly? It's croissant.
Okay.
Hashtag Ask the Bench. Brought by Colker's Life is Here. Tulsa Blue Moon Lights. Guys, what's your least favorite SEC fans?
Least favorite SEC what?
Fans?
All of them, besides us.
Florida?
No, they gotta have fans.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Rejuve Me Medical. Restore me, refuel me, rejuve me. You want to feel younger, stronger, faster, better. Fight the effects of untreated aging, be it like facial aging, mood memory problem, insomnia, energy, irritability, all of this and more. Feel like you used to when you were the proud peacock. You were younger and confident. You can do that. I don't care if you're 20, 30, 40, 50, male or female. Get the free consultation where they draw your labs. Your body is the guide, and they customize the plan for you. RejuveMeMedical.com.
Go to the website today to schedule your appointment. And look, if you just got something going on, but you're not quite sure what it is, they can get to the bottom of it over at Rejuve Me Medical. Again, locations throughout the state of Louisiana, also now in Mississippi. And so you go to the website, you look at the list, you schedule the consultation, you get everything done. They're going to help you out. You get you feeling like your youthful self again over at RejuveMeMedical.com.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.